Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. Patrick Mahomes practiced all 3 days this week, and today Chiefs coach Andy Reid says Mahomes is ready to start Sunday's AFC title game against the Bengals. Mahomes is playing through a high right ankle sprain. Cincinnati won this game last year in Kansas City. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow.
We're in this game back-to-back years, and I think if you would have told people that we were going to be in this spot a couple years ago, I think people would say we were crazy, but we trusted the process and trusted the organization and the front office and put together a great team.
Joe Burrow in the NFC title game Sunday, the 49ers and Eagles in Philadelphia. A LeBron James jersey from Game 7 of the 2013 NBA Finals sold at auction today for $3.7 million. In that game, James had 37 points and 12 rebounds to help the Heat win the title against the Spurs. Maple Leaf center Austin Matthews will be out at least 3 weeks with a sprained knee. The reigning league MVP will miss the All-Star game.
If you want to find quality new hires in the new year, post on Indeed. When you sponsor a post, you'll get matched instantly with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. And Matt.
You're a loser, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Theriot, 1 hour from right now. Tons of baseball today. Today is the first day of LSU baseball practice for the 2023 season. Jay Johnson had his media availability earlier, player media availability, and then the Tigers, as we speak right now, at 3 o'clock Central Time on this Friday, are on the practice field as the preseason consensus #1 team in the country. And as you might imagine, Jay Johnson, the head coach of the LSU Tigers, is quite okay with the state of his baseball program as they enter year 2.
Really like where we're at right now as a program, and you're building two things at once from the head coach chair. You're building the team, which is the 2023 team, which we'll talk a lot about today, and then a program. And piece by piece, we're trying to put this thing together to reach the ceiling. And we all know what LSU baseball's ceiling can be.
The ceiling can be national championship, and that is the expectation on this team. Let's be honest. It's the expectation for every LSU team, fair or unfair, realistic or not. With this team, it happens to be realistic. They are uber talented, as has been validated by every single college baseball publication that exists, telling you how talented a team this is. You're not guessing on incoming players. This isn't like this isn't, for a bad analogy, this isn't Texas A&M's football class from 2022, which was the best signing class ever. You just didn't know how it would translate on the field at the college level. Paul Skeens is a college ace. Tommy White hit 27 homers last year as a freshman. Thatcher Hurd was the best pitcher UCLA had. Christian Little throws 100. You're not guessing about these guys. And you add them on top of Dylan Cruz and Jordan Thompson and returning guys that you really like Pearson and Dugas and Merrifield, and it's, you can understand why the expectation, the excitement is there for this team. But as far as those expectations, that's going to be something this team has to handle. And Jay Johnson did talk about sort of his approach, a head-on approach into handling those expectations.
The expectations from me to them are very clear in terms of core values, in terms of what this team needs to do to be successful. And if I were to simplify it, and I think I already said it, to prepare at the highest possible level, and then to give everything they have towards executing what their job is for the team to win. That's how you deal with that. So let's talk about the other part of it. It's like you're a firefighter and the house is burning down. Kind of a similar analogy to going through the SEC schedule. Like if you tiptoe around it, you hesitate, you're going to get trucked. So you run right into the building, you get the hose out, you start pulling everybody out and make sure everybody's safe. So that's how we're going to approach it.
I love it. Take it head on. The most obvious question that every coach is always asked at this time of year is about rotation. We've talked a ton about Paul Skeens, a guy who Jay Johnson has said has 4 pitches and throws 100. So who's a potential 1-1 guy for the summer's draft. He was asked if Skeens is going to start on Friday.
The answer is yes, 1,000% yes. If I didn't answer it yes, I don't know that I'm fit to do the job.
So I want to remind you something, okay? Thatcher Hurd was UCLA's best pitcher. That is sub 2 ERA. Sub 2 ERA last year at UCLA. Had some back issues, but Christian Little's been a weekend guy at Vanderbilt. Now he's bounced back and forth a little, but he's been a weekend guy. You've got Ty Floyd. You got Grant Taylor, who's been a weekend guy for you. You have weekend SEC arms. And before they've even had one practice for this season, fall ball notwithstanding, but one practice for the season. Can you play that again, Muse, number 23, please, about Paul Skeens on Friday night?
The answer is yes, 1,000% yes. If I didn't answer it yes, I don't know that I'm fit to do the job.
Okay. Do you understand now the expectation on Paul Skeens? He is a potential 1-1 guy. He could be the first pick in the draft. Like he and Dylan Cruz, if they have the seasons we're expecting they'll have, will be in contention to be the first pick in the draft. That is the guy who is going to be at the front of your rotation. A year ago, it was Mikhail Hilliard. Please, I am not in any way disrespecting Mikhail Hilliard. I thought he gave LSU a gutsy career in its entirety in so many different roles, taking the ball whenever he needed to. Mikhail Hilliard was not drafted. You're going from a guy who did not get picked to a guy who's very possibly the number 1 overall pick in the draft. You want to talk about a table setter for a weekend? It's Paul Skeens. Jay Johnson elaborate a little more on the Air Force transfer.
Man, it's a elite fastball. We had a very intentional plan when we recruited him of like, this is what we're going to do. We wanted him to get to work right away on some other things with Wes. And for 7 weeks at the beginning of school, it was really laid out to elevate the things he needed to do to be that type of pitcher, to be one of the best pitchers in the country and, a future major league starter. That's where his life is going, in my opinion. And so we attacked that. So we shortened his fall a little bit. We had him only throw 5 times to stop him 2 weeks early to get that extra recovery time because he went from starting pitcher, Team USA, that critical development time. We wanted him to pitch, competitively, so we gave him a little more time on the back to get ramped up. And it's the talent; it's easy to see. The person is elite.
So, Paul Skeens is your Friday night guy. You put that to bed right now. Paul Skeens is your Friday night guy. We know it. Ty Floyd, Thatcher Hurd are going to be weekend rotation guys as well. In what order? I don't know. I guess that could be fluid as they get through it, but I'm going to assume today that in that opening weekend, you're going to have Paul Skeens on Friday. I would assume you'd have Floyd Saturday and Thatcher Hurd on Sunday. They could flip. We'll see. You've got 3 weeks, right? You got 3 weeks to figure it out to see how it's going to go, and there could always be variables that are thrown in there. So we will see how that goes. So we know about the front end. What about the back end? There's this big question about closer, and Jay, they are considering several names there right now.
Not prepared to answer that just yet in a good way because there's guys that can do it. I don't think I mentioned him earlier. Bryce Collins has made a massive jump forward. Massive. Not to say that he won't start or being in different situations. Looks great. Christian Little, mentioned Chase Shores. One of our best guys is going to come out of the pen. It's always the way I've operated my teams. And so I would say probably not Paul Skeens, but literally if it was Thatcher Hurd, Ty Floyd, Grant Taylor, and any of those guys I just mentioned, Aiden Moffitt eventually is going to be good enough to do that at a really, really high level. It'll just be a timing thing. Nate Ackenhausen, Riley Cooper, both from the left side. Excited. The next 18 days, we'll start looking at that, and then obviously it'll probably change throughout the year. It's nice to have options.
He threw out a ton of names there. I'll tell you, I think in a perfect world, Grant Taylor is that guy. Now, Grant Taylor may be one of those. He may be I never want to say because it's. I don't mean to put the expectation or the comp, but you could look at a guy like Zach Hess, right, who was a high energy guy who fizzled as a starter, right? When you can be a max effort dude at the end of the game and say, hey, go get me 3, 4, 5, 6 outs and empty the tank, that's a really good spot for Grant Taylor. And I think in a perfect world, that's where he fits in. Now, all these guys want to be starters because that's how you get paid at the next level, is as a starter. So, at least initially. So, maybe Jay has to balance some of that, but I'm going to say this again. His job, and I get that it's a delicate balance because you've got to get guys that you can show a path to getting to the next level and being drafted high and all that stuff. But his job is not to prepare guys to play in Major League Baseball. His job is to win games at LSU and win championships at LSU. So he rattled off a lot of guys there, from Bryce Collins and Riley Cooper to Aiden Moffitt and Grant Taylor and a lot of others. Aiden Moffitt's a guy that throws 100. He's a high schooler out of Mississippi. We told you about him. His mom is a high school principal. His parents are in education. He was always going to school. I mean, he looks like a defensive end. He's like 6'3", 240, and he throws 100. I mean, that's the level and depth of talent on this pitching staff, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch it unfold. There are some spots in the field that Jay Johnson addressed. I want to get to that when we come back as well. Theriot's with us in hour number 2 and 3, obviously, so we'll talk a ton of baseball today as LSU hits the practice field, and Jay Johnson started giving us some insight on his club as they push off from the dock here in 2023. We'll continue. Also, Sean Payton took on a reporter on Twitter for some what he called erroneous reporting about a meeting he had with Denver. We'll fill in the blanks with some of that coming up as well. We're glad to have you aboard with us here on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
AFR.
Hey, we're heading into the weekend. Pluckers is always an awesome spot. Remember, Nicholson or Bluebonnet. Tonight, you got a ton of NBA action if you want to get on by and watch it. Saturday, you got LSU and the Pels playing. LSU at 1 o'clock, Pels at 7. If you're getting out to the Maravich Center, awesome. Go eat at Pluckers before the game or after the game. It's always a great spot. And, of course, for Championship Sunday, if you want a place to watch the NFC and AFC Championship games, Pluckers. Or if you're having a game watch at your home, easy, punch up Uber Eats, DoorDash, or just call in your order to go and get a whole mess of wings for your whole party. Wings, sides, they got the whole works at Pluckers. Nicholson, just south of campus, Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. 28 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, and every sporting event you could ever want to watch on TV in spectacular high definition with unobstructed views. It's at Pluckers, where, if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications. The powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution. A network built for every possibility. Moving faster than ever before. Streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Bayou.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Jay Johnson opened up the 2023 LSU baseball campaign today. It was the media day for the coach, players. Then they had their first practice. They're actually on the practice field right now, starting preparation for the 2023 season as the preseason number one team in the country. We opened up letting you hear what Jay had to say about the expectations and some of the pitching. I want to get to, here in just a second, some of the questions in the field, because there are a couple of position battles that are lingering out there. I'm going to get to that here in just a quick second. We are, of course, continuing to follow all the Sean Payton news. Do you have it? Yeah. No. Okay. Please make sure you have the Payton Watch sounder ready. No, it's cool. Just make sure we have it. But there was this report from Mark Mask of the Washington Post. He tweeted, the Panthers are no longer an option for Sean Payton, and there was an issue with Payton's interview with the Broncos. Payton likes the idea of coaching Russell Wilson and having that defense, but fears a potential power struggle with a member of the ownership group, source says. Okay, that's Mark Mask from the Washington Post. Well, Sean Payton quote tweeted Mark Mask and completely took issue with the report. Sean Payton tweeted, "Zero truth to this. We had a great visit, and at Broncos ownership was fantastic," with 2 exclamation points. So, believe what you want. We know that Carolina is filled. There are reports that both Houston and Denver have DeMeco Ryans as their favorite. He is coaching with the 49ers and will be with the 49ers until their season ends, which could be Sunday if they lose in Philadelphia. And then we could have a little more finality there. But Sean Payton taking issue with the report that things did not go well in Denver, had a great meeting. So we'll keep our eye on it with a Payton Watch.
Payton Watch.
It's so bad, but it's so good. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. Remember, they've got the all-new ID4. It's the all-electric vehicle from South Point Volkswagen. Go to SouthPointVW.com. SouthPointVW.com. You can search new or certified pre-owned. If it's on the lot, it's online. Again, you can search that ID4 and reserve yours right now. The inventory search is right there on the home bar. A lot of people who are looking into EVs now, you can go reserve yours at the website, and they actually have some on the lot if you want to go test drive one at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland. They are Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, so even if you're outside of Baton Rouge, sometimes it's worth making that drive to South Point if they can save you money, get you the best deal, and have the inventory on the lot. It's at South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com, What's your direction? All right, so Jay Johnson met with the media, spent the first segment talking a little bit about what he had to say at pitcher. When it comes to the field, second base is going to be the position to watch the most. Pretty much everything else is solidified. I think there's going to be a rotation at catcher. You're going to see multiple guys play there. I am curious to see with Paxton Kling, who's likely going to be your day one starter in right field, how he does transitioning in as a freshman. But second base is the spot where they're likely going to platoon because they got a lot of guys that they're going to want to play. Here was Jay Johnson on the battle at second.
I think we have 4 players that can all make a positive contribution, and they're all a little bit different. We added Ben Napolt from Virginia Commonwealth. He's a left-handed hitter. Really solid player. He's a good player for this team. When you talk about some of those, Dylan Cruz, Tommy White, Trey Morgan, really fits in terms of mature at-bats, controlling the baseball. Gavin Guidry, certainly a talent, and a really good day yesterday. We played a small 3-inning scrimmage yesterday. It's great to see some of the physical talent translate into usable skill to help the team win, just in terms of handling the ball on routine plays, those types of things. Jack Merrifield, who was a contributor to us earlier in the season last year, probably led the team in hitting in the fall. And he's a great example of the player you need in the program. He's going to get an opportunity, to play and contribute. And then Gavin Dugas, obviously, you guys are familiar with him, has had some really good moments here and has power and hitting skill, does a great job with the routine play, has arm strength to turn the double play. So we've moved him in there.
So that's 4 guys he mentioned that I think are all going to play at second base. I'm not telling you that they're going to rotate those guys every single game. You may see defensive switches. You may see somebody just completely grab a hold of that job, put a stranglehold on it, and never let go because you can't justify taking them out of the lineup. Those are the types of things that could transpire over a 56-game season. But he's telling you there, they got 4 guys that they like a lot that all do different things but can all help the team win, and I think you're going to see them play there. Similar at the dish, you're going to see several, as much of a liability as the catching position was for LSU a year ago, and I know we talked about it a lot, but it's true it was. LSU was atrocious defensively behind the plate. They were. Alex Milazzo was their best defensive option. He got hurt, and you saw McManus and you saw Travinsky, and they were just not good defensive players. And it hurt you. That's not going to be the case this year because you have talent and you have options and you have depth, and they're probably going to play a lot of them.
Alex Milazzo and Brady Neal were exceptional behind the plate. They are ready to go from a defensive standpoint. Alex has made tremendous strides offensively. It was happening last year, and then he got hurt. You know what I mean? And production means a heck of a lot more to me than just batting average at that position, especially in the context of this team. So really happy with him. He's also done a terrific job because you have 3 players. I should have mentioned Ethan Frey, actually, in that grouping of players, too. So you have Ethan Frey, Brady Neal, Jared Jones. Those guys, this is all new. And so Alex is jumped to the front of this thing, and Coach Jordan's doing a great job developing that position. Man, I couldn't be more excited about how that's going. And Alex deserves some credit for that. I think how we structure the pitching staff, the dynamic of the team, the importance of defense with the lead, it's going to be fun to watch that evolve. And, I feel good about it.
Importance of defense with the lead. It's something I think we've talked about here. And the way he's talking there, you may see Milazzo be a guy that starts or plays more often, but I think Brady Neal is a guy that very likely becomes your sort of everyday starting catcher. And you heard him say there, we do defensively with a lead. It could be a scenario where if you get a lead, then Milazzo goes in as your defensive replacement. Or if a certain pitcher prefers a certain backstop. We see that in Major League Baseball often. And when you have the luxury of 3 guys that could all be professional catchers, you can rotate and maybe feel like you're not missing much. So a lot of that is going to be discovery as you make it through the season. There's not a lot of spots on the field where you're going to have that. Tommy White's your third baseman. Jordan Thompson's your second baseman. Trey Morgan's going to play first. Dylan Cruz is in center. Pearson's going to be in left. Kling's going to start the season in right. It's second base, it's catcher. How do you rotate in guys like Cade Beloso and some of the veteran guys that's going to be important as well? Do you platoon him at DH? Is there a rotation at first? Does Morgan ever get innings in the outfield, which I assume he will at times this season. Some of those things will transpire, but ultimately, Jay's told us that it's going to be a thing where he wants to settle his lineup and know who the 9 are going to be that they run out there every day. So with this team, they will likely get there sooner than later. A couple of more from Jay Johnson today. Muse, can you at number 20, please? He was asked about injuries and if there's anyone not available for the team, and he did give a little bit of disappointing news.
Caleb Appleby came in with an existing deal. He will not pitch. Jaden Newt came in with an existing deal, which we tried to give some time. He will not pitch this year. And Jason Bowman had an injury last year and gave it a great effort to try to come back. He won't play this year. So that's where all that stands right now.
Okay. Appleby, and I'm looking at the notes that I had at about the time of the draft. When I talked to a lot of different scouts and their general feeling on if guys were going to come to campus, if they were going to sign, just notes on them. Because, look, I mean, I'm not out here scouting high school kids from all around the country. Well, Appleby is a guy who was the number 2 ranked player in Illinois. And he came in from Wabash Valley Community College out of Mount Carmel, Illinois. And I had a note on here that was flatly no. Whether or not so if it was come to school, yes, no, or 50-50. He was a no. So the fact that they even got Caleb Appleby to school is pretty incredible. But unfortunately, an injury is going to keep him away. Newt was one of those 50-50 guys out of Sierra Canyon out in California. He was the number 1 ranked right-handed pitcher in California for the class of 2022. He was the number 22 overall prospect in the country by perfect game. He was a gigantic question mark if they were going to get him to campus. They did. Unfortunately injured as well. So those are guys that you're likely not going to have here for 4 years. So one of their seasons here, now you're going to lose any productivity out of them because they're injured. But if there was a silver lining for the team this year, it's you have plenty of pitching. You got a lot of arms and a lot of depth, so much so that it's such a contrast to a year ago. This year, you are trying to figure out how you're going to get all of these guys work. So disappointing, yes. The bit of good news, though, is that they're actually maybe optimistic that Javen Coleman is going to pitch. He had his surgery, and Jay Johnson talked about this. They had the surgery, and they're going to spend the next 3 weeks or so ramping up his workload to see if he's going to be good to go. So, look, Javen Coleman last year was your best left-handed option. He had Tommy John towards UCL, had Tommy John, and you lost him for the year, and that was devastating on the team a year ago that desperately needed pitching and certainly left-handed options behind Riley Cooper. And you may actually get Javen Coleman, it sounds like. So we'll find out more on that here over the next 3 weeks or so. One more, and look, I've sort of intentionally not played Jay Johnson sound bites on guys like Tommy White and Dylan Cruz and things that we know, right? Like we know what these guys are and what they're going to be, and it's very exciting. A name you may not know yet that you need to know, and this is a name that Jay Johnson mentioned on the Rosters to Riches podcast that we did with him a few weeks ago, which I would highly recommend you go listen to if you missed it. Just on your favorite podcast app, search Rosters to Riches, and you'll see it. He mentioned Chase Shores, and Chase Shores is one of those guys that they are very high on, that was very good in the fall, and that is going to make a big impact on this team. Here was Jay Johnson today on Chase Shores.
A freshman that is supremely talented, really high-end fastball. And again, you look at the physical skills. It's 6'8", it's arm speed, but the poise, the competitiveness, the readiness to make a contribution in the burning building that is the SEC. Like he's right there and in a really good spot.
SEC ready. I'm checking my notes, and what I was told is that around the draft, Chase Shores was his ask was $3 million, and if he didn't get $3 million, he was going to school. We always ask that question, like, that's a guy's number. Is a guy going to stick to his number? Because if a team comes in and says, "Will you take 2.2?" Well, $2.2 million is more money than any of these kids, most of them have ever seen in their life, but it ain't 3. Are you willing to take 2.2? And I don't know if that was the number, by the way, if he was offered that, but his ask was 3. He didn't get it. He's on campus, and you heard Jay Johnson say he is SEC ready, and that's a dude I think you're going to see pitch a lot. He's huge, too. He's 6'8". It's like I'm telling y'all are going to look at this team, and there's been a lot of teams over the years where you had smaller, faster guys, diminutive. This ain't that team, y'all. I mean, they're going to look the part getting off the bus. It's exciting. LSU baseball officially getting underway here with practice starting today. All right, it's after further review. A ton more from Jay Johnson we can hear throughout the show. Theriot, 30 minutes from right now. We're glad to have you aboard with us. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back, go around the SEC. Theriot in 30 minutes. Stay here.
AFR.
Brought to you by Rouse's. Hey, speaking of LSU baseball, of course, former Tiger great Alex Bregman. You know, he's got his Breggy Bomb line of products. The Friday before the Super Bowl, AFR from Rouse's in Denham. Bregman will be there. Rouse's is donating a whole bunch of food. They're going to be cooking a ton with all the Breggy Bomb products, the barbecue sauce, the rubs, and all that. So make plans to join us the Friday before the Super Bowl. That's 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today, AFR at Rouse's in Denham. Bregman will be there, and we're looking forward to having a really good show. And in the meantime, y'all, it's carnival time. Get to Rouse's. Rouse's.com. King cakes are there. If you want to ship your king cake anywhere in the country, they'll do it. If you got that family member, that client that lives out of town, get to Rouse's.com and ship them a king cake anywhere in the country and enjoy a little carnival wherever they may be. It's carnival time at Rouse's.
Bayou Ford has $4,000 off MSRP plus $1,000 Ford credit cash on new 22 Ford F-150 XLT trucks. That's $5,000 off plus 0% financing. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, congrats to Zion, was named one of the starters for the Western Conference All-Star game, despite missing a big chunk of time. He actually beat out former Pelican Anthony Davis for that second forward spot. So your starters from the Western Conference are LeBron, Zion, Jokic, Steph Curry, and Luka. So those are your starting five. Anthony Davis would have been next, and I guess the perception is, well, Anthony Davis has missed a lot of time. Zion's played only 3 more games this season than AD, and AD's numbers are a little better than Zion's, actually. But I think it goes to show you the massive impact that Zion has had on perception and certainly on this team, the franchise, and the NBA as a whole when he has been out there this year. So an incredible start. So congrats to Zion. Second All-Star nod, but the first time he's an All-Star starter. The other starters for the East, you've got Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, and then Giannis is the other captain. It's going to be interesting. And by the way, if you're wondering how the voting works, it's a weighted voting process. So 50% is fan vote. And then 25% is player vote, 25% is media vote. So it's not like in other All-Star games where if it's 100% the fan vote, it just becomes a giant popularity contest. This is something where it's weighted towards fans, media, and players. And Zion won out there. So congrats to him for that. The All-Star game is coming up in February, and I guess it's going to be interesting to see if Zion even plays because of the injury. So the week before the All-Star game is when Zion's set to be reevaluated for his injury, and he may not even play in the game. But congrats to him. Still a great honor, obviously. The 7 All-Star reserves for each conference are going to be announced this coming Thursday. So in 6 days, they'll announce the rest of the All-Stars, the reserves. And interestingly, and I kind of like this, and maybe this could be our poll question of the day if you haven't posted one yet, Muse, but they're going to decide the teams. They've been doing a draft, right? So they have captains. So LeBron and Giannis are the All-Star game captains, and they've been doing a draft in recent years where they draft the team. So it's not East against West. It's like LeBron against Giannis, Team LeBron, Team Giannis. In the past, they had done the draft in a taped. They had taped the draft days before the weeks leading up to the All-Star game. This year, they're doing it right before the game, live. They're going to draft the teams live right before the game. Do you like the draft? How they're going to do the draft process for the All-Star game would be the poll question. Let me know if you like that. I think anytime you can add a layer of intrigue to something in a world in which there are so few surprises because of social media, where like generally we know award winners before they happen. Like when the draft is rolling around, everyone is on Woj's Twitter because Woj has the draft picks before they're announced. There's so few surprises. This is actually really cool. This is something that will transpire live on television where LeBron and Giannis are drafting the teams right before the game, almost like recess. All right, everybody stand on the wall. All right, LeBron. All right, coin toss. Who picks first? Okay, LeBron, you go first. Giannis, boom, 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 boom. And you'll see him draft the team real-time live. I think that's pretty cool. So they'll do that literally right before the All-Star game. I mean, it's going to be just right before the start of the game next month with the All-Star game. So kudos to the NBA, which continues to be creative and continues to find ways to be creative and new ways to engage their audience and make things that for some are mundane and boring really interesting. So I'll certainly look forward to that. All right, we're going to go around the SEC in just a second. Remind you about Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. That's the website, of course. Shawbills is the home of the Charlie's Dozen. That's a dozen benefits extended to you and your vehicle when you buy tires at Shawbills, but not just you, every member of your family. This is what Shawbills does that differentiates them. It's their level of customer service. I tell you all the time, name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they treat you like family. That's what they do at Shawbills. The Charlie's Dozen includes free tire repair, free tire rotations, free balancing as needed, and 9 other benefits. You can see them all at the website at ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Schedule service, shop tires, See their promotions, learn more at ShawBillsTire.com with 17 locations across South Louisiana and an 18th coming very soon that we'll tell you about. It's Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. All right, y'all, glad to have you aboard with us here. Theriot in 20 minutes from right now. Looking forward to the Riot Radio Hours on this Friday where the baseball season is getting underway. So for LSU, baseball practice is getting underway today as the march toward Omaha officially begins. So we're excited about that. We'll talk plenty of baseball with Theriot here over the next 3 hours. Right now, though, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions.
Texas A&M! Aggies had 18 players ink their national letter of intent during the early signing period, and now they've added one more. Raymond Cottrell, a four-star wide receiver. He had been committed to Georgia, but did not sign early with the Bulldogs. He flipped his commitment to the Aggies. 6'2", 203-pounder. He is enrolled at Texas A&M for the spring semester, so he doesn't actually have to wait to sign his letter of intent. He's got his grant and aid paperwork in, and he is in class there in College Station. So they've added another player, the number 216 overall prospect in the country. A&M thin at wide receiver. They got a needed one here.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Senior offensive lineman Sean Manning and defensive back Keydron Smith. They've been selected to play in the NFL PA Collegiate Bowl. That's this Saturday out at the Rose Bowl. Manning, a 6'4", 330-pound lineman, played in 30 career games at Auburn before transferring to Kentucky for his final season. Smith is a 6'2", 204-pound defensive back who transferred to Kentucky after 4 seasons at Ole Miss.
The Florida Gators.
After 5 seasons in the Cleveland Guardians organization, Mike Rivera, former Florida great on their 2017 national championship team, turned his attention back to school. He's going to go back, get the degree that he never completed after winning the 2017 national championship, and has been announced as the university's newest baseball student assistant. Of course, helped guide Florida to the College World Series in each of his 3 seasons with the program. Florida returns a vast majority of its draft-eligible talent from a season ago that ended with a regional disappointment. All right, tomorrow is the SEC Big 12 Challenge. A slew of games across the landscape for the Southeastern Conference, matching up against the Big 12. It'll start off with 15th-ranked Auburn visiting West Virginia. Second-ranked, buzz the tower there, Paulie. Sorry. Second-ranked Alabama is in Norman at Oklahoma. Missouri will host 12th-ranked Iowa State. Of course, LSU hosts Texas Tech. 11th-ranked TCU visits Starkville. Arkansas is at number 17 Baylor. 4th-ranked Tennessee will host 10th-ranked Texas in a top 10 matchup. Florida visits number 5 Kansas State. South Carolina is at Georgia in an SEC contest. 9th-ranked Kansas visits Kentucky. Ole Miss is at Oklahoma State, and Vandy at Texas A&M. So the 4 SEC teams not participating in the SEC Big 12 Challenge with South Carolina at Georgia and Vanderbilt at Texas A&M. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. You know where to find them. GCOPnet.com, GCOPnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales service after the sale. That's what they always get you at Gulf Coast Office Products, with a ton of office equipment options that can help you and your business run more efficiently. They're at Gulf Coast Office Products, a national leader among Savin dealers. They're actually Louisiana's number 1, the unchallenged leader, the largest distributor in Louisiana. It's Gulf Coast Office Products. GCOPnet.com, GCOPnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Okay, it's after further review. We'll put a button on hour number 1. Muso. We'll have Tigers and the Pros coming up here in just a smidge. Theriot next hour. We are going to get into previews of the championship games this weekend with the Bengals heading to Kansas City, and, of course, the Niners and the Eagles. A lot of LSU flavor in these conference championship games. Looking forward to a good football Sunday. If you missed Jimmy's show earlier today, Otter had his guys out there slanging some picks, man. The Bengals are a pretty popular one. Also, heard Jonathan Von Tobel give the under in the NFC championship game. So if you're looking to play along, you could certainly do that this weekend with the NFC and AFC championship games. All right, it's after further review. Quick break. Muse will have Tigers and the Pros. Theriot in 15 minutes. Stay here.
AFR.
This weekend, if you're looking for something new to do, maybe if you're knocking off of work right now and looking for that after-dinner happy hour, get by the Renaissance Hotel. You got to trust me here. Get by the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet. Tallulah in the Renaissance Hotel is a magnificent place to unwind after work, to have a great business lunch or an elegant dinner. You got Valentine's Day coming up. You can get your reservations right now. Don't think of it as a restaurant in a hotel. This is a upscale dining experience, a casual upscale dining experience with great happy hour specials, craft beer, great whiskey selection, beautiful ambiance, and their terrace outside with the water and fire pit makes a beautiful setting to have that after dinner or early dinner, after work cocktail. Think the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet and go check out Tallulah inside of the Renaissance Hotel. It's Tallulah at the Renaissance.
Cornell Toyota in Opelousas is here to help you ring in the new year with no markups, and you'll never pay over MSRP. And we have new inventory arriving daily. So Happy New Year from our Corvell Toyota family to yours.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ATEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Start your day with news and newsmakers. Start your day with traffic, weather, and local stories that are important to you. Kickstart your day every day. Mornings with Brian Haldane from 6 to 9 a.m. Weekdays on Talk 107.3.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. We always appreciate our friends at Don Juan Cigar Bar. Make sure you swing on in this weekend. Get your sticks to enjoy a nice weekend on the patio. If you're watching some football this weekend, no better selection than Don Juan Cigar Bar right there in town center, the Don Juan Cigar Company, and of course the Don Juan Cigar Bar. Great place to watch the game, unwind, have a cocktail, a premium cigar. Don Juan Cigar Bar. All right, we're wrapping up hour number one. Theriot in about 11 minutes from right now. Right now, Musso. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
NFL Championship weekend, you'll see plenty of LSU. Well, there are plenty of LSU Tigers. You will probably only see 2 of them. Of course, Clyde not active with the Chiefs, dealing with that injury, but on the team, man. Yeah, it is. His year really got cut short this season, and that is a bummer because Clyde had a lot of success with KC early in his career there.
Was he done there? He might be done there.
He might be, man. Number 1 who replaced him, the running back, his name escapes me at the current moment, but he's been really good. But look.
It's like Pacheco. Whatever his
name is. I think that's it. Pacheco, something like that. Something like that. Not really important. He didn't go to LSU. He's not a former Tiger in the pro.
Irrelevant to this segment.
Yes. Kind of the same thing with Ty Davis Price, though, in San Francisco, man. Got some run early, had the injury. Of course, they traded for Christian McCaffrey, and he's had a hard time breaking back into that lineup. Who you rest assured you will see. You will see Joe Burrow. You will see Jamar Chase as they look to knock off the Kansas City Chiefs for a 4th consecutive game. Lyle Collins also on the squad, but inactive due to that injury. Again, don't root for the Eagles. They have no LSU players. And
we did, last week we had the whole conversation about Tyler Shelton, and he is not with the Bengals anymore.
He is a free agent.
Right.
He is. We had to work kind of hard and look at a lot of different things to confirm that, but he is a free agent.
I remember when I saw that, but I was pretty sure he wasn't with them anymore. So Tyler Shelton's not with the squad anymore. Curious if he's going to land in XFL or if he's just waiting to see if he gets an NFL opportunity next year. I mean, I would imagine he'll be in a camp somewhere next year, but doesn't mean you can't play in the XFL in the spring. So
or the USFL for that matter too.
Go get some run. We'll see. Yeah.
Let's get some basketball here. Tari Eason, heck of a night for Tari Eason on the Rockets. 25 minutes off the bench. That actually had him 3rd on the team last night in minutes played, and he did it off the bench. Sounds familiar to his time at LSU. Records a double-double. 18 points, 1 shy of his career high so far, 11 rebounds. So there's your double-double, 3 assists and a block for Tari Eason last night. Really, really solid performance. Ben Simmons, 20 minutes.
Did he?
No, of course not.
No,
in fact, he had 0 points.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He did
he attempt one?
A 3? Of course not.
Oh.
He was 0 for 3 from the floor, if that means anything. 1 rebound and a steal to go along with the 7 assists in that one. So not his best. Not his best. Javonte Smart in a bench role for the Squadron last night. 26 minutes, shot 41% from the floor for 13 points for Javonte. 2 rebounds and 2 assists round out his night. Take a look at it. Aaron Epps, the Raptors 905 was actually playing the Birmingham Squadron last night. Aaron Epps, 6 minutes in the game. Did not score a point, but added 4 rebounds and a block to his team's cause. And finally, we wrap things up. I lost my spot with Darius Days of the Rio Grande Valley Vipers. And it was another awesome night for Darius. Another double-double, 19 and 16 in 36 minutes, 35% from the floor, added 5 assists and a steal to go along with the 19 and 16. That is Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. A gentleman, thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. If you didn't take care of business around Christmas time, great time to do it right now or anytime. 2 locations in Baton Rouge, Corporate Boulevard in Bocage, and in the Mall of Louisiana. First floor, kind of below the food court. You can't miss it. It's a gorgeous store right there in the Mall of Louisiana. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, where you get an exquisite selection of fabulous sparkling diamonds that are sure to thrill her and make you a hero. And you always get the best price and the Lee Michaels experience. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Pelicans are back home tomorrow. They'll be at it at 7 o'clock against the Wizards. They got to get this one right. I mean, they're playing a sub-500 team. You've had 2 days rest. I get it. You had to go. You're going to be favored. You were favored against Minnesota.
Yep.
But it was the second of a back-to-back. BI was back and he was atrocious. To be expected. I mean, look, it's going to take
25 games he missed or something like that?
I mean, look, he was
in the neighborhood.
Was he 4 of 18?
Yeah.
I mean,
13 points, just not efficient.
Yeah. But I was thinking, you're going to face Kyle Kuzma tomorrow with Washington. And every time I think of Kyle Kuzma, he was sort of the centerpiece that everybody wanted in the AD trade. And I can't help but think back to the Lakers when they had Brandon Ingram and Kyle Kuzma and Lonzo Ball and I'm blanking. Forward from Kentucky. Went to the Knicks. Help me.
Randall. No.
Yes. Julius Randle. I mean, and Randall, when he went to the Knicks, had an incredible 2 years ago, had an incredible season. But anyway, like the Lakers actually had a minute where they were, like they could really be contending.
They had a young core.
Yeah, and they blew it up for LeBron to win a summer camp championship there in the bubble. Awesome. Good job, guys. Okay, Theriot in studio. Coming up right after Sports Center. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. 29 offices across 11 different states, and they spent their 75th anniversary last year, 2022, really expanding their precision measurement device calibration labs. They added more than 6,000 square feet to their Harahan office. They added square footage in Baton Rouge and Mobile and points all over the country to better serve you. At Michelli, they actually have mobile calibration labs as well. So if it's better for you and your business, they can come on site. Maybe you have equipment that can't leave your facility. Michelli can come to you. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. They make you more efficient. They're quick, they're local, and they love doing business face-to-face with a handshake. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. For a list of all their products and services, go to Michelli.com. Online, that's Michelli.com.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility. Moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Black Widow Jeep Gladiators in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Chiefs coach Andy Reid confirms today quarterback Patrick Mahomes will start Sunday's AFC title game against the Bengals. Mahomes suffered a high right ankle sprain last time out against the Jaguars. The conference championship doubleheader kicks off tomorrow with the Eagles and 49ers in Philadelphia. ESPN's Harry Douglas says the Niners will likely use shifts and motion trying to confuse the Eagles' defense.
You can probably run that same motion 3 or 4 times, and the defense may get lazy at times and say, okay, he's just going in motion, and next thing you know, boom, Brock Purdy has handed the ball off to one of his weapons, and now they're going around the edge.
Harry Douglas on Fitz and Harry. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Giants defensive coordinator Wink Martindale will get a second interview this weekend for the Colts head coaching job. ESPN has learned Luka Doncic of the Mavericks will likely be day-to-day with a mild left ankle sprain. He got hurt during Thursday night's game against the Suns. And coverage of the Australian Open Women's Final starts at 3:30 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Coming up Monday, we'll recap everything from Championship Sunday. Plus, I'll tell you why one record that's about to be broken will never be reached again. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Monday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, E2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
Let's ride.
It's that Louisiana boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You picture better reload. Get the point.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot.
Here comes Theriot. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers, and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
104.5, 104.9 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN New Orleans.
This is legit, dude. Check me out. I got camo paint on my face.
Ryan Theriot hitless in 4 at-bats.
When it's 20 degrees, Matt, and you're sitting in a deer stand, it's freezing cold.
Okay,
you need a beanie on your head.
Our weekly visit with Ryan Theriot is brought to you by Bowie Outfitters. Bowie Outfitters, your home for everything outdoors.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
So, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Yeah, bruh. I'm tweeting out that you're coming on the show right now. I'm going to take a picture of you and tweet this picture of you right now. Here, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom. There we go. Use photo. There it is.
Got him.
Got him. Look at that. There it is. That's a good Hudco hat, too. I like that a lot. I do like that Hudco
good
hat.
Hudco hat.
That is a good Hudco hat. I like that a lot. Mm-hmm. Good. How's your week gone?
Good.
Saw you at the first pitch banquet last week.
Yep.
Or not last week, this week, on Sunday.
We sat together.
We did. Yeah, we did. We did sit together. A shout out. David Freeman was the winner of the Pro Charge ticket giveaway.
Yep.
So David came with his guest and Vic, and we had a good time, man. It was my first time ever going to a first pitch banquet.
You'd never done that before?
Never gone before. And the thing that struck me most about the team was their size.
Yeah, a bunch of monsters.
Yes. I think LSU, and this is true, I guess, just in baseball. You have varying approaches on how to build a roster. And I know there was a long time where Paul had a lot of really fast guys in the outfield. I mean, guys that became pros. I mean, guys like Stevenson and Fraley. And I mean, dude, like center fielders all over the outfield. And this team is just big. You know what I mean? Like, this team is big. Paul Skeens is big. Tommy White is big. Dylan Cruz is big. Chase Shores is 6'8". Thatcher Hurd was talking to Ben McDonald almost eye to eye with him. He's like 6'6", 6'7". I mean, they're big.
And a bunch of guys like I never even heard of. Like, you had some freshmen that, were just like, freshmen. It's not their time yet, but monsters.
Aiden Moffitt is a kid from Mississippi who's 6'3", 240, looks like a D end.
Yeah.
He's a pitcher, throws 100. They're the talent on this team. Just the talent is
reminds me a little bit about of the Gorilla Ball days when you just had a bunch of giants walking around around the field.
Would you say that your era was still Gorilla Ball? They hadn't changed the bats yet.
Yeah,
but it wasn't. But y'all weren't hitting.
They changed the bats when I was there.
They did.
Yeah.
Okay. When did that happen?
Maybe my second year.
What I was going to say, wasn't it 99?
Yeah.
They changed the bats after the 98. Well, the 98 championship game was the 21-14 game.
Yeah,
I didn't know that they changed the bats the next year.
Second year or first year they were changed.
Okay. The 28-14, for those that don't know.
Yeah, we didn't get the fun ones.
The national championship game was 21-14 with USC beating Arizona State. That was the year in Omaha in 98 where LSU hit, I think, 8 homers in the first game of the series against USC. It was absurd. So they changed them your first year was 99. Mm-hmm. So they changed them your first year?
Yeah, I guess it was my first year. Okay. First or second year. We had a bunch of problems with them. They were trying to figure them out. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I'm excited about this team, obviously. And a big part of it is I love college baseball. I love baseball. But it's another big part of it is LSU basketball isn't very good right now. And the Saints
men's basketball.
And the Saints are not very interesting. And I would really, really, really like to have something positive to talk about for 3 hours every day. And LSU baseball might be my ticket all the way through June. I'm betting on it being my ticket all the way through June.
Yeah, look, you never want to say they're going to win it all and all that stuff, but getting to Omaha or let's just say a national seed, I think is a, they're really good.
I'd be stunned if they weren't.
They're really good. I'd be stunned if they weren't. And then, you look at the pitching staff and what these guys have, and it's been the first time in a while, man, where you have three, maybe four guys that are defined weekend starters. I mean, they are.
Yeah.
Because we had the TBD quite a bit the last couple years, I don't see that happening, and so it's exciting.
If you have that this year, it's just because you have a lot of options. They're trying to decide which good option to go with. It's not, well, let's see who's available and who might be able to just get us off to a good start and hand the ball and start the merry-go-round sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
All right. It's after further review. We will talk plenty of LSU baseball throughout the day today. The Tigers hit the practice field for the first time today. But you usually like to tell us about what's going on in your week.
Yeah.
Things that are
something a little
resonating,
off the cuff, a little interesting.
Muy interesante.
Yeah.
Muy.
You guys know, you're familiar with Will Stout Media. We had lunch with him today.
Had lunch with Will Stout today.
And
at the office.
Yeah, great. If you need a video, any video really. Still pics, videos, editing. Like, he's honestly the best. Anyway.
I mean, the guy who went super viral every week for his hype videos around the greatest college football team ever, that Will Stout? Yeah, that Will Stout.
He's here locally, and you can hire him, and, he's here.
Yeah, he owns his own company. He does video editing. So if anybody needs a video edited or produced, hire Will Stout.
So I'm hanging out with Will. We had lunch.
You're welcome.
And, you're welcome, Will.
Not just Will, to whoever hires him.
Welcome to everybody.
You're welcome.
You want to go viral? Call Will.
You're welcome.
So we had lunch, and then we're hanging out at the office, just kind of talking shop. And he's been flying. So University of Arizona has hired Will to produce all of their highlight videos.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they? He's the best.
Right.
He's telling me kind of some of the stories about him flying back and forth. He's been to Tucson quite a bit, and it kind of struck a nerve when I was that guy traveling, flying, every week.
Yeah.
Staying in hotels, but mainly in airports. And once you're in the major leagues, it's private, but the commercial side, the minor leagues, is commercial.
Mm. You didn't have to ride buses? Y'all got to fly?
We rode some buses.
Yeah, I bet.
So I'd like to touch on some of that because I had all these feelings came over me as I was listening to him, and then it just appeared.
Okay, all right.
So I'd like to write this letter. So this is Dear Morons Who Travel on Airplanes.
Morons?
Not everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just the people who travel on planes that are morons.
That's right.
Got it.
Okay, here we go.
This is going to be good.
This crap has to end. It's bad enough that TSA forces you to basically strip down and can legally sexually assault you if they so choose. But the airport etiquette and in-flight actions of some of y'all has gotten a little bit out of control, and we need to discuss.
Yeah, we do.
First off, there's a reason why there are chairs available past the security check-in. Got it?
Yeah.
Go through the x-ray, then there's chairs lined up.
Yeah. Go put your shoes on over there.
That reason is for you to grab all of your things, shoes included, all the stuff in your bin, and walk your ass to one of those chairs. Okay?
Okay.
You sit down, you get all your things together, you put your shoes on, and you go about your merry business.
Go about your merry business.
Why on earth would you think it's okay to stand just beyond the x-ray machine and do all of this while blocking the entire line of people from walking through?
Because they're inconsiderate. My biggest pet peeve in life.
Are you that lazy that you can't walk 5 steps to open up a lane for people to pass, or are you just that inconsiderate that you don't care about anyone but yourself?
Ding, 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 ding. It's not that I'm lazy, Bob. It's just that I don't care.
There's a moving walkway, Matt. It's called a lot of different things.
Yes.
But let's just call it the moving walkway.
Uh-huh.
It's there for a reason.
Uh-huh.
It's there to get you to your destination faster.
Yep.
Not for your lazy butt to plop 4 carry-ons down and block the walkway for everyone else. Inevitably, there's that guy. He stands there, doesn't walk. He's got 2 or 3 carry-ons, and he stops the whole thing from happening.
Oh, man, that's so true. Like, if you're not going to walk, okay, at least move your stuff so it's passable.
Scoot over to the right.
Get over.
And get the hell out of my way.
Get out of the way!
Once you board the plane,
Yeah.
why is it that the dummies that sit in the aisle seats always sit down first?
Because it's where they want to sit.
They let down their tray. They open up their laptop. They start working, knowing good and well there's 2 more people that are going to have to squeeze by them to get to their seats. Just wait till the plane is full. Honestly.
Yeah.
You got to pick the stuff up or I got to squeeze. Just wait 2 minutes. It's not that hard.
Yeah. It's more than 2 minutes, but yeah.
How about the super talkative guy who doesn't understand personal space? That guy's there.
Please
no
don't
offense.
talk to me on a plane.
Honestly,
don't talk to me.
like, no offense, but I could care less about your trip to visit Aunt Janet in Little Rock.
I don't want to hear about your cat.
I don't care. The fact that she was always your favorite aunt and without her in your life, you'd be lost, does not move my needle one bit. I don't care.
Your Aunt Janet in Little Rock.
Your excitement to visit your aunt, coupled with the turbulence, actually makes me want to throw up. And if I have to hear about your peanut allergy one more time, I'm going to shove a handful down your throat.
We're looking at you, Muse. Nobody cares.
I don't have a peanut allergy.
Okay, well, it's a walnut
There you
or
go.
whatever
Something like
it is.
that, yeah.
Nuts.
What is it?
Nuts.
Pecans, walnuts, and almonds.
Yeah, pecans, walnuts, and all. Bigger nuts. It's the bigger nuts that give
He
Muse
can't
problems.
put big nuts in his mouth.
Muse cannot put big nuts in it.
Only small nuts.
The small nuts fit.
Going-
the larger nuts, Muse cannot
No,
put
they
in
can
his
fit,
mouth.
but bad things happen if he puts them in his mouth. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
He can do it, but
the result is not. There's probably a hospital trip on the way
if he puts big nuts in his mouth.
Big nuts in his
the
mouth.
little ones, if he got little nuts, he can do the little nuts.
He can put little nuts in his mouth.
As many as he wants.
For as long as he wants.
They can just sit there.
Or he can swallow them.
He can swallow little nuts. Or he can sing with or like hum with the nuts. You know, he can do the whole thing if he wants to.
He might choke if he tries to hum.
That's true.
Yeah, you don't want to do that when you have nuts in your mouth.
Yeah, don't do that.
Or anything. Chew your food. We're talking about food, of course.
Yeah.
Chew your food.
Yeah.
Chew your food and swallow your food, then speak.
Hey, what about the guy that brings his boiled shrimp that he got from the food court on the plane and decides to chow down? No, that's cool, man. I like smelling like Grand Isle after the Tarpon Rodeo. How rude is that?
Wait, have you never bought food? Are you talking any food or just that specifically?
Okay. Chicken shawarma, like Lebanese food, will stink up a plane faster than anything. You'd swear you're walking down the streets of Beirut when some moron decides it's a good idea to eat that on a plane. Like seafood, Lebanese, like any...
One time I brought a burger. Like I was in a real hurry and I was starving. I was like, just grab the burger and ran, yes.
The burger's fine.
That's like one time in my life.
It's not shrimp, though.
Yeah. Or you know what you could do? You could sit first class and get the meal on the plane.
You could?
Yeah. I did that once too. That's a way better option. And you know what else? They give you unlimited drinks. Just keep them coming.
Just get hammered.
When we flew to Cali last year, just first class, just keep them coming.
Keep them coming, baby.
Come on.
Yeah, let's go.
Give me another Maker's Rocks.
Give me a nud. Get you a nud. Hey,
it's gonna make this 4-hour flight go by real quick.
Yeah. I had the privilege. Matthew, of playing minor league baseball.
Yeah, privilege.
It's a good time. No, it was. It was great. It was a privilege, and I enjoyed it, and it was an experience. Most of our road trips were taken on a bus. Sometimes they were really nice buses. They would feature TVs.
Yeah.
And even a bathroom. The use of the TVs was allowed, actually encouraged. It made the trip go by faster. But if you decided it'd be a good idea to take a giant dump on a 10-hour bus trip, that was grounds for getting beat up.
What are you going to do if you got to go?
You wait till the bus stops.
There's no way.
Oh, yeah.
Nope. Not doing it.
There's always that one person who just can't seem to hold it and drops a huge deuce mid-flight, stinking up the entire plane. You've got kids gagging in the back. Old ladies are doubling up on their COVID masks. All this because you couldn't wait 30 minutes for the plane to land.
Sometimes you just got to go, bro. I'm not poop shaming anybody. You need to go. You got to go. Just go.
Well, just give me a courtesy flush. Like the second it comes out,
absolutely hits the water. Boom, gone. Get it out of here.
Yeah. I would say act the way that you do at home, but I'm afraid that's how some of you guys act there as well. So when traveling via airplane, act like you're at someone else's home. Sincerely, Ryan.
It's after further review. We'll do Kick Rocks as we continue next on a Friday AFR. AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Oh, my goodness. What a time to get by Clegg's. Every single day, they have new truckloads arriving of trees, shrubs, winter flowers. You want to add a pop of color this winter?
Colors.
Get by Clegg's. You realize there are some of these trees and there's some of these flowers that just love this weather.
Well, this is when you got to put them in the ground.
This is when you put them in the ground. So you try to explain it. It's counterintuitive because you think, oh, it's going to freeze. I'm going to have to go cover it. No.
They need it.
That's like citrus.
Yeah.
You don't want to plant citrus right now, but a shade tree, a pear tree, some shrubs. They love it right now.
Dude, I love pears.
This is when
Do you like pears?
I love a pear. I really do. I'd
The
prefer
plums grown on trees?
Yeah.
Do they have plum trees?
Yes. I'm gonna tell you, I would love a pear over an apple.
I like plums.
I would. Clegg's Nursery. Clegg's Nursery.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $8,500 off new 2022 Ram 1500s. New 2022 Ram 1500 trucks on our lot now with $8,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right. Bayou.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Worked out a traction earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Our guy, Young Tev, knows how to get... Look, there's nothing that really can maximize a workout like the right playlist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when I'm in there, usually the baseball guys who are doing all their off-season training are in there. It's Pap and Cabrera and Doty and some Max Scroller, some guys who aren't LSU guys.
Blaine
Enlow, Bobby Bradley, a lot of guys, good, all really good dudes.
Yeah.
And they're listening to like Young Boy and The Baby and all sorts, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it ain't my era.
Mm-mm.
So as soon as they wrap it up,
you go to the playlist.
Tev goes to the playlist. I mean,
what's your go-to? Give me a couple examples.
He came out the gate today with a little PNC.
Oh.
He had some Cain and Abel. Went juvie. We listened to Make Him Say, You know how I get when Mystical comes on the track.
Yeah.
I mean, I was yelling at Tev, like, give me the hundreds, Tev! I was ready, dude.
Wow.
Nothing like a good playlist.
No, it's good.
It matters a lot when you get a good playlist.
And you gotta know your clientele too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's true.
That's important. You really do.
That's the point he made. He's like, there's a guy who comes in the morning, and he was telling this other trainer, he's like, because it was like a young guy, like he was telling me, he's a private school quarterback. He's got this souped up Jeep coming here like 6 a.m. or whatever, and they put on like Bruno Mars. It's like,
he don't.
That's not what that dude wants. You gotta just ask him. Anyway.
So you had a good one, the good workout
got
today.
A good workout.
Well, Tev's good, isn't he?
Tev's the best.
He's the best.
He is the best.
Name a better trainer.
You can't.
I mean, can't.
You can't.
He's attraction.
He is.
All you got to do is call.
Yeah. Good workout today.
Yeah.
Got my glutes firing too.
He fired your glutes
He fired
for
my
you?
glutes. Got my glutes firing. And I didn't know my glutes weren't firing. They weren't firing. He got them firing.
He fired your glutes for
He was like, look, because he's like, look, you got this back issue.
Yeah.
So look, here's what I need you to do. We're going to get your glutes active. We're going to make all your stuff move correctly and all. So
he's like a magician kind of too?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, just maybe, it was good. It was
Did
great.
he touch
Great
you?
workout.
Did he
No.
touch you to fire your glutes?
No.
So he made your glutes fire without even. He
Yeah.
must be magic.
Yeah, he just looked at him.
He just and then pow pow. They started
Pow, pow,
popping.
fire, pow.
Boom 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 pow.
Pew, pew, pew.
Huge butt workout today.
No, it wasn't a butt workout today.
Well, you just said your glutes fired.
Well, we did some legs today, but we had to get the glutes firing. That's
Yeah.
what we had to do. It wasn't a butt workout, but there was a component of it.
You ever do butt workouts?
Well, I mean, I think there's glute work that's mixed into a lot of workouts. You do glute bridges and
What if you just did like an exclusive? You know how some of the girls, the ladies, they'll do.
that's all they do.
And they want to do the butt work. What if you did?
All guys do is buys, girls just do butts.
So let me ask you this: what if?
Guys just do bicep.
I really want you to do this. Actually.
Okay.
I want you to go all butt workout for the next couple months, and let's
No.
see how giant your can get.
Not interested.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Not interested.
Huge dunk, bro. You just get caked up, coach. Let's see. I'm gonna talk to Tev.
You talk to Tev.
I'm gonna see if we can get you caked up for the summer.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's over attraction. And speaking of dunks,
It's Big
today
Dunk's birthday.
That wasn't where I was going. I didn't know. Is it?
It is.
It is Big Dunk's birthday?
It is. Happy birthday,
Happy birthday,
my guy.
Big Dunk, Trey Duncan. And it also happened to be at Ruckus today.
Mm-hmm.
They dropped their Panda Dunks over at Ruckus today. How about that? And Ruckus is the new sponsor of Kick Rocks. Yeah.
It's now
Shout
time to
out,
Kick
Big
Rocks
Dunk.
with Ryan Theriot.
Kick Rock.
Happy
Kick
birthday.
Rocks.
NBA can kick rocks because they're so dang sensitive.
What are you looking at? Kick Rocks.
As a matter of fact, the NFL can kick rocks too.
We've got rocks. You know what to do.
In that case, then Matt's going to have to kick rocks.
Now let's see if Ryan Theriot actually prepared for this week's segment.
I'm going to tell myself to kick rocks. Get on down the road and kick rocks.
Jerry Jones can kick rocks.
Ooh.
Kick rocks.
You're doing it.
And the Dallas Cowboys can kick rocks.
Okay.
Kick rocks.
And listen, I kind of like Dak Prescott. Like, I don't think he's a good quarterback at all. But, Louisiana guy, whole deal. And he's a nice guy. I met him a few times. I mean, I want him to do well for him, just because I like the guy. But he's not that good. And the Cowboys aren't that good. And you've got a running back on your team who, should be really, really good. You've got Micah Parsons, who's really, really good. You look at the roster, they're really, really good. But Jerry Jones is really, really bad.
Who built that roster?
I think Jerry. Yeah, he's bad.
Got it.
But he's bad for some reason. It's not the right roster. It's not the right guys. I want him to be good. I mean, I don't like the Cowboys, but I want him to be good. Anyway, Jerry can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Okay.
Question. How do you, if you were a business owner.
Okay. No?
If you were a business owner.
Okay.
Let's say Guarantee.
Okay.
Paid you.
Okay.
20% more over the course of a year.
Of my base pay or my total income?
Total income.
Okay.
You get a
Okay.
20% knock
Now
every time.
Okay.
Boom.
Every time what?
Every time you get paid, every 2 weeks or whatever it is, however you guys pay. I don't know how you pay.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks, boom, 20% extra.
Every check?
Every check.
In perpetuity?
Yeah, equaling 20% that year of your total salary.
Oh, you're talking about Brian.
How's it happen? Like, first.
They were paying him and the LLC.
So
So
LSU.
it was dual payments over 7 months.
So whoever was paying it can kick rocks. But I got another
True.
one.
Kick
I got
rock.
another one. You know who else can kick rocks?
Who?
Brian Kelly can kick rocks.
He
Kick
didn't know.
rocks.
No way he knew. Okay. Okay. Yes, I want to have this conversation with you.
How would he not know?
Okay. When you have that much wealth, right?
Yeah, you got what's called financial advisors.
He has direct deposit
Okay.
hitting his checking account and his LLC.
Okay.
I don't think he's looking at his LLC all the time. He's probably got it compounding as well. So he doesn't know how much is in there, how much is grown by every single month. And it's probably the thing when you have that much wealth, you're not looking at it every single day. He's out coaching his team.
I don't expect Brian Kelly to be looking at his direct deposits.
But it's also not like $1 million hit his account in one day.
Get that.
Over 7 months. What did we amount? We said it came out to like $14,000, and that we said it was like $14,000 a month.
Okay.
So like, I mean, was it 14 or 140? 140 grand a month. That's what it was. It was 140 grand a month. Well, if you've got 8 figures, maybe not 8 figures in your bank account, you're not going to notice 140 grand. Like I would notice $140 in my account.
Okay, let me explain something to you. How this works. This is just informational. I'm not talking down to any of that. This is just informational.
No, for sure.
You've got what's called financial advisors.
I'm aware.
So these are guys that's their job.
Yeah.
To look and see how much money's coming in every month, what bucket that money goes to, whether it be kids' tuition fund or, this much is going to charity. I'm going to tithe my 10%.
Do you think you think 60-year-old Brian Kelly is talking to his financial advisor all the time?
It's his financial advisor's duty.
What if he doesn't have one?
Oh, he does.
You sure?
I'm not positive because I don't know exactly. If he does, then he's not very smart. And somebody has to. When you're making that much money, somebody has to manage it for you.
At what level do you have to have a financial advisor?
When you're making, I would encourage everyone to have a financial advisor. If you're making $50,000 a year, you should have a financial advisor.
Oh, really?
I would encourage that.
Or what if you're just a financially prudent person?
It's just a lot of work. You just said it yourself. He's out on the field coaching football.
And he knows he's got money coming in.
And it's a bit, yeah, but it's a lot of work. You got taxes. You got all kind of stuff. Somebody has to take care of that. So he's got somebody doing that for him. So whoever that was, they knew. If you tell me, we just didn't notice 140 Jeebers hitting the account every 2 weeks. Shut the hell up. Yes, you did. And you were like, man, I don't know where that came from. Keep it coming.
It'd be like 70 a month.
Well, I love LSU.
Or maybe the financial advisor is managing the LLC and not his personal finances and didn't know that there were dual payments happening. It's possible that they didn't know dual payments were happening. A wasn't talking to B. That's possible. I'm not a naive person. You know me and have known me a long time. I think it's possible.
In the realm.
You're talking about.
Is it possible? Yes.
You're talking
probable?
about significant.
No.
People significant amounts of money to which $70,000 every 2 weeks isn't significant. At that scale. Now, when you get to. Now, the thing I would say the bigger issue I would have is not the receiving end. It's the people at LSU cutting the check.
Oh, no, that's
how do you not know that you're like if you're an accountant within that office and you don't
who got fired? Somebody got fired.
Somebody had to get canned. That's aggressive.
Does he give the money back? Does it go off on the back end?
I think what they said they're doing is they're just modifying his pay structure moving forward to make up. So maybe it's like,
man, what if he's like, no, man, it was y'all bad. It wasn't my mistake. I want my dang money.
I thought that was a bonus.
Yeah, hey.
10 wins, bro. I'm worth it. Tell me I'm not worth it. Any more?
Mm-mm.
I got one.
Okay.
People who go to the bathroom on the 3rd floor and don't lock the door. They can kick rocks.
I was peeing.
Kick rocks.
It's like every Friday. Top of the hour. Nice. It's like, what?
What are we doing? What's going on? I was peeing. Had I not been peeing, I would have
There's a
locked the door.
bathroom here on the 3rd floor. It's a single, right? It's unisex, men or women, and it's 2 doors down from the studio. So top of the hour hits, I walk down there and I go pee. And I walk down and I open the door. Door's unlocked. Door opens.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, yeah, bruh. Hey, yeah, bruh. Hey, like how much, you want to talk about effort? All the people you just railed on in the airport because they're lazy, won't get out of the way. How much effort does it take to push a button?
They got 3 people on this floor.
Door closes, push a button.
Muse and Paulie.
No, CV's in his office too.
He wasn't here yet.
Yeah, he is. He just has the light off.
All whom I don't care. I'm peeing.
I get it.
If they walk in and I've got my pants all the way to my ankles and I'm peeing, that's fine. Because that's how I pee.
That was a funny bit. No,
I just go all the way, pants all the way down to the ankles.
What about the guy that goes all the way pants to the ankles at the urinal in the public space?
That's me. That's what I do. That's how I pee.
You can see the wrinkly butt.
That's how I pee.
So
I go pants in the urinal.
Oh, man. All right. Kick Rocks is brought to you by Ruckus. We got to meet Ronnie Paul last week. Ruckus is awesome right there on Jones Creek, an institution for 23 years. The skate shop. You want to go get your sneakers, you're a sneakerhead, you want the apparel, go over to Ruckus. They had a Panda Dunk drop earlier today. I heard that they had even after they had run out of about 4 key sizes, there were still about 40 people in line outside the building, man. The Panda Dunk drop was earlier today, but they got so many great options, man. Get on by and check out our guys over at Ruckus on Jones Creek, or you can go to ruckus103.com. You can order online, Ruckus, R-U-K-U-S, ruckus103.com, ruckus103.com. Ruckus, bringing you Kick Rocks. So you can kick all them rocks with shoes from Ruckus.
That's right.
That's what you can do. All right, it's after further review. Regrettably, Theriot and I will talk a little LSU men's basketball next, because I think they can win tomorrow. I think they can do it. I think they can get off the schneid. Hit the stat muse.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by New Orleans Flooring. Get to NOLAflooring.com. So today is the last day of NOLA Flooring taking care of your sales tax, or New Orleans Flooring taking care of your sales tax. But I had lunch on Wednesday with the guys over at New Orleans Flooring, and tell you they keep about 1 million square foot of product in stock. They cut out the middleman, which is why they're able to give you such a great price. Terrio's a customer now, by the way.
I am. Big customer.
How'd it go? Yeah, we're doing the remodel at the HUDCO office.
Yeah, well, we got another job, too.
And another job. Bought the flooring at New Orleans Flooring. How much did they save you?
I bought 3 18-wheelers full of flooring from these guys. It took them a week to get it, which is amazing. I mean, how do you say?
Yeah.
No, it was quick. I went to the store. I talked to Sean. Sean was great. And, yeah, we had the material. He actually delivered it to the office.
NOLAflooring.com. Call today, install tomorrow. NOLAflooring.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before. streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Moon Griffon is back. The voice of Louisiana politics makes his return to Baton Rouge. Catch the Moon Griffon Show weekdays from 9 to 11 a.m. on Talk.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, rolling along. Going to get to Ask Ryan less than 10 minutes from right now, so get your questions in. You can email us, tweet us, jump in the Bayou YouTube chat, or text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. LSU basketball is, I know.
Not good.
You said it.
They play hard, though. They're just not that good yet. They're going to be okay. Maybe. Not this team, but hopefully in the future.
Well, they're playing Texas Tech tomorrow in the SEC Big 12 Challenge. And Texas Tech is on an 8-game losing streak. So,
how many have we lost in a row?
7.
Oh, something's got to give.
Yep. So one of these really bad teams is going to win tomorrow. Texas Tech 0-8 in league play. LSU's 1-7. LSU won their first league game and have lost 7 in a row. Texas Tech is 0-8 in the Big 12. Big 12, I think, is a considerably better league than the SEC. And Texas Tech's
wait, the Big 12's a better league than the SEC? Really? I thought the SEC was really good.
SEC has some really good teams at the top. Maybe the middle isn't as good as we thought it might be. You got Arkansas slumping. Kentucky's a bubble team right now. So
really?
I mean, Tennessee, obviously Alabama right now. I mean, Auburn was ranked 15th, and then they took it on the chin at home this past week. But SEC is a good league. Don't misunderstand me. SEC is a good league, but the Big 12 has a case to be made to be the best league in college basketball right now. And so when you look at Oklahoma State, actually at Texas Tech, here's their losses. They lost to 18th ranked TCU, to 3rd ranked Kansas, Oklahoma, to 14th ranked Iowa State, 10th ranked Texas, 21st ranked Baylor, 13th ranked Kansas State, and then West Virginia. So they're 0-8 in league play. 6 of the 8 games are against ranked opponents.
Yeah.
So they have faced a very similar gauntlet in the Big 12 as LSU has in the SEC.
Okay.
They're at the onset. They're a good defensive team. They are better offensively than LSU is. But you got 2 teams that are struggling, man, and desperate for a win. It's I'm looking here at ESPN. They're looking at maybe like Texas Tech 3 might be a projected line here. So we'll see maybe a bit later when that line comes out what it actually is, but it's looking like it's going to be somewhere around there. What would it mean? I'm not going to ask you for a pick because I'm going to assume you have not seen a minute of Texas Tech basketball here, and I'm not going to lie to you, I haven't watched Texas Tech at all, other than some highlights I've watched and reading box scores to prepare to talk about this today. What would it mean if LSU can get the win?
They really need a win.
I know.
And look, I think both of these teams really need a win. So whatever guy is talking about this game over at Texas, they're probably saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Like these guys could really use a win. The problem that I have with LSU is, the first, obviously in the non-conference, and then the first couple conference games, even the loss, I think, was at Kentucky.
Yeah.
We saw offense.
Yeah, they scored 71 at Kentucky. Was 74-71 was the final? Yeah, 74-71.
You saw
Now, you did not see offense against Arkansas.
No.
That game was 60-57. It was atrocious.
But you saw, guys, there was a couple games where Adam Miller shot the ball okay.
Kentucky. He shot well against Kentucky.
KJ was getting his looks. I think the length of the last few games has bothered him quite a bit when he steps out beyond the 3-point line. And there's not a whole lot of other threats there, so they're keying on him. But I don't know where LSU is going to put the ball in the basket other than the linebacker driving in the lane, throwing up a circus shot, and it's somehow going in because
Trey Hannibal.
But and look, and I'll say a linebacker, he's done a great job, I think. But other than that, I mean, nobody shoots. There's no like real scoring threat. The only true offense is hopefully you get a run out, but missing layups. Like around the goal, we're not even great. LSU's not even great right now. So
that was, I mean, against Arkansas, they missed a layup on a run out. I mean, it was a defensive rebound run, and they missed a layup.
So I don't know. I mean, you say Texas Tech's offense is better, and so that scares me because I just don't know who's going to score for look. And
they're averaging 74 a game. LSU's averaging 66. And mind you, coming into conference play, LSU was averaging 75, 76 a game coming into conference play. I mean, you've seen that drop 10 points a game.
Yeah. And it will probably continue to drop.
Yes. Well, here's the thing for LSU. I just think there is absolutely something to be said for your psyche for just finishing a game with a win.
Mm-hmm.
Like just getting off of this awful roller coaster. Because, man, after you play this game against Texas Tech, you're at Missouri, who was ranked a week ago. Then you're home against number 2 Alabama, who might be the best team in college basketball this year. Then you got to go to Mississippi State, who's 1-7 in the league, but it's a road game.
It's at their place.
It's hard to win on the road. And then you're home against A&M, which has been one of the biggest surprises in the country. I mean, A&M's 6-1 in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
They just last weekend lost their first conference game of the season, losing to Kentucky. Then you go to Georgia, who's at 3-4 in the league, better than we probably thought they were going to be. And then it lightens up. Like then you get the home game against South Carolina, you get a home game against Vandy, you're at Ole Miss. You play like the worst teams in the league, right? That are right there clumped up with you. But man, it's I mean, you're talking about that South Carolina game is Feb 18. I mean, you're still talking almost 3 weeks. You could go 3. If you don't win this game, you could go 3 more weeks without a win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
tough.
That's 2 months without winning a basketball game. That's brutal, man.
It's tough to go to practice when you're on a skid like that. I mean, it's hard to get up for a game. When you're on a skid. Yeah, they need it.
It's why when they played A&M in Florida, we talked about it that Friday. Like they had to get one, if not both, of those games. Because if you didn't get it then, it's gonna be a long time before you lost. Then you're looking at this really extended losing streak, which they're in the middle of now.
Is there any good news? Is there a silver lining anywhere? Like, do we have any young guys that are really good, or like
no,
nothing?
I mean, even like
recruits. Any signing? Do we sign any guys?
I hate to say it, but like even like,
I mean, with NIL, can we just pay some dudes to come? Like, what can we do that?
Get the right guys. I mean, that worked for Will Wade. It just wasn't legal then.
We just got to go pay. Like who? Okay, who's really rich that loves basketball? Shaq. You think Shaq could throw a milli on that?
I mean, look, they know who the basketball boosters are when they need a check cut, who to go to. But I think the toughest thing is, because I have gotten it, we're late, but I have gotten this from some LSU fans where they'll say, well, the Matt McMahon year one, give him time excuse doesn't really hold water, turn over the roster because of transfer portal, right? You can go get guys, which is true. But look at who they brought in relative to who they lost. Your roster got worse. Like you don't,
no doubt.
You don't have. I mean, I get everyone got on Efton Reed last year because he came in as a 7'5" star, but I expected more. But you don't have the length of an Efton Reed on this team. You have no rim protection.
Mm-mm.
You don't have the length of an Alex Fudge. You know what I mean? Like you don't have a shooter like Brandon Murray. What would Brandon Murray mean to this team? Brandon Murray.
Present.
Thank you. Like,
Murray,
what would
present.
he mean on this team? A guy that can step back, shoot threes, can handle the point for you. He's a very good college basketball player. Maybe not a pro, but a very good college basketball player. Man, like, you got worse. You got way worse on the roster. And if you're Matt McMahon, trying to sell a team that could be staring at sanctions, that's a hard sell.
Yeah, when does that come out? When is that?
Great question.
Yeah.
Great question. The NCAA can do whatever they want. So you just remain in this perpetual state of limbo, just waiting to see if they're going to drop a hammer on your head. Anyway, here's hoping the Tigers can get one tomorrow. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 2 with Ask Ryan. Get your questions in. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air. where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. Got this 5-star Google review from Alexis Blanchard. She said, Todd from River City's 1 Hour Air was great. Very patient and knowledgeable. I'm so thankful he was able to check out what was wrong and fix it in the same setting. My air and heat is back up and running. I feel so relieved that it didn't take much to figure out what's wrong and fix it. It took a lot of climbing up and down the attic to the outside, but he did not complain, didn't look bothered at all. He really came in, did his job, made sure I knew what was going on every step of the way, double-checked everything once it was completed. That's how you do a job and serve your customers. Very much appreciated, Todd. That was from Alexis Blanchard, a 5-star Google review. How many times do you hear reviews like that about HVAC techs? Not often.
Nope.
Unless you're reading reviews from River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001 for River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside off the bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Ford has $4,000 off MSRP plus $1,000 Ford credit cash on new 22 Ford F-150 XLT trucks. That's $5,000 off plus 0% financing. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Glad to have you aboard with us here. Let's get to Ask Ryan. Get your questions in. You can ask Theriot anything about anything. Brennan Thibodeau said, ask Ryan, what's the scouting report on what role Sam Dutton will have this season?
That's a good question. I think we're going to see a lot of new names pop up in that bullpen on that pitching staff, but I would definitely expect him to get some time.
Ask Ryan, what's the best Louisiana food you can cook? Gumbo, jambalaya, etc. Do you cook?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy cooking. I don't have a lot of time to cook. Probably gumbo. It's tough to mess that up unless you burn the roux, but probably gumbo.
Ask Ryan. Man, how about that weather outside? Am I right?
Yep, it's cold. It is. It's
you know who that
different.
was from?
Lehman.
Greg Lehman.
Greg Lehman.
Yeah.
Greg. Boy, Greg.
TK, ask Ryan. My Uncle Jerry wants to know if Rouse's has Fig Newton flavored king cakes.
I don't think so.
If not, what about prunes?
No, but they have Werther's original flavored king cakes for Uncle Jerry. And then they have Metamucil flavored for Uncle Jerry too.
Hey, don't knock Metamucil.
Oh yeah, it's my bad. I know you're a Metamucil guy.
Every day of my life since I was like 26.
You know, I tried it one time and I puked.
It's a
in
shame.
the morning. First thing hit my stomach was Metamucil.
Ask Ryan, ever feel guilty for all the knocks on Kim Mulkey's wardrobe now that she's 20-0?
No, I don't.
Should.
I think she's got a great wardrobe, actually. I think she's the best dressed coach, really, in any sport.
Get a lot of jean jacket knocks back in the day. Hey, we're brought to you by Relief Windows. How about my guy, Brandon Holly?
Oh, he looks great.
He's the best.
He is awesome.
ReliefWindows.com, energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank and vinyl siding. They do it all over at Relief Windows. You can get by and see them at their corporate headquarters right there on Airline Highway in Prairieville. Go south past 42, look to the right, you can't miss them. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. They're just the best. Ask Ryan, LSU baseball this year or the field?
LSU baseball.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't think they're better than everybody.
We're going to talk more LSU baseball after the break.
AFR.
Wrapping up hour number 2, want to remind you about the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Blue Bond in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette. Online, theantiagingclinics.com. I was there earlier today, as a matter of fact. I've been on hormone replacement therapy for 5 years or so now. I had no idea, but a simple blood test let me know my testosterone was more like a 70-year-old man.
Got him.
Didn't do nothing wrong, man. Just went through a very stressful life experience. Lived in the hospital for 9 months with my son. Completed. I always say you never see pictures of presidents from the beginning of their term, like 4 or 8 years later, and you're like, oh my God, look how much they aged. Stress does have a physical toll on your body. So we all age, and we all age at a different rate. And hormone replacement therapy could be the answer to help you feel like your younger self, sleep better at night, wake up with more energy, burn fat, build muscle, just overall mood, feel better.
I've got a microneedling appointment on the 22nd.
Go get you some, bruh.
At Aesthetic.
The Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside off the bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Championship day in the NFL on Sunday. The Eagles and 49ers meet for the NFC title game in Philadelphia. Then it's the Bengals and Chiefs in Kansas City for the AFC title. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes will start for the Chiefs in spite of a high right ankle sprain. And Bengals coach Zach Taylor doesn't plan to alter his approach with a Super Bowl berth on the line.
We always want to stay aggressive, and that's our mindset in all the games we played this year. We don't try to be consumed by the moment, and man, this is a big call that's going to be criticized if that doesn't factor into our thought process at all.
Zach Taylor, Bengals tight end Hayden Hurst will be available Sunday. He sat out one practice this week with a calf injury. ESPN's Marcel Louis-Jacques reports Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa is still in concussion protocol and won't play in next week's Pro Bowl festivities. And ESPN's Jeff Passan reports the Mets will sign batting champ Jeff McNeil to a 4-year, $50 million extension. That will make the team's estimated payroll for this year a Major League record $467 million.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, they're making things even easier to help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
You can't handle the
Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again.
Please, sir. I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yusu. We're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. I heard him say posting pics on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I just thought for a second, in like 20 years, what if there's no Instagram and kids will listen to that song going, what is Instagram?
What's Instagram again?
Yeah, sometimes there are those things that don't hold up, like in Tupac Changes. You know the song Changes by Tupac? He says, they get jealous when I see you with your mobile phone. Like, nobody's jealous seeing anybody with a mobile phone anymore.
Mm-mm.
But back in the day when it was like the big block bag, like if you had a mobile phone in 94, like.
How good was Tupac?
Really good.
Man, he was good.
Really, really good. Yeah. So was Biggie.
Biggie was good.
Biggie was good.
Really good.
I mean, Hypnotized. Tell me every time you hear the first note of Hypnotized, your body don't just move.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Georgia was asking me about that era in rap. And
yeah.
her and one of her friends got in an argument
about
gangster rap. You know, like, and Georgia says, well, Tupac's definitely gangster rap.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl says, no, he's not. So, of course, I played Hit 'Em Up, and she listened to it, and she's like, yeah, Dad, that's gangster rap.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
gangster rap, because that's
for
what
sure.
he does. But they were talking about Biggie, too. I don't necessarily know if Biggie was a gangster rap. I think kind of, but not as angry, you know?
Well, I mean, first of all, so you had the East Coast, West Coast feud. So, I mean, yes would be the answer. But as far as what they rapped about, I mean, it feels more like, obviously the West Coast rappers were more about violence and the coming out of a poor lifestyle and everything, right? I mean, which started with NWA, right? You know,
Eazy-E.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Whew. So good.
Easy is my name, and you know that I'm coming.
He was so good. Oh, big Eazy-E fan here.
Yeah. You know, but then like you think about B.I.G. and it felt more like it was bottles and bling, not to the degree that it was in like the late 90s, early 2000s rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, are you familiar with Underground Kings, UGK? Kind of that same time frame. Gangster rap.
Okay.
Texas rap, though. And I'm a big Texas rap fan.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Nola Bounce.
I love Nola Bounce, too.
Yeah.
I would say I'm partial to probably Nola Bounce and then the Texas rap. DJ Screw. Are you a DJ? Have you not? No, you need to get that in your life.
Okay.
DJ Screw. Paul Wall, our guy.
Yeah, Paul Wall.
I've had him on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
Slim Thug.
Yeah.
This is Texas.
Texas.
But when I think gangster, I think
The Iced Out Snowman.
oh yeah, People's Champ.
Mm.
He's the People's Champ. DMX is an East Coast guy, wasn't he? DMX was gangster.
Yeah, DMX was.
He was angry.
Okay, it's after further review. You'll probably hear a lot of these songs when the LSU baseball team walks up to the plate. Obviously, you'll have walk-up songs, right? You might hear some of these, maybe not. I would walk up to Hypnotize.
Oh, yeah.
You get the whole...
Yeah.
Give me Hypnotize, Muse. I could, like, you hear the first few bars of Hypnotize, and you're just like, boom, like when it hits. Like in 10 Things I Hate About You, when Julia Stiles is dancing on the table dance scene, when she hits her head on the chandelier. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then the girl comes on the track, Biggie, 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 can't you see?
It was good.
Sometimes
Do you remember I'm trying to think of that.
Escargot, My Cargo. So good.
Do you remember the Biggie song with Bone Thugs?
And no worries, Muse. The show just ends at 6.
Yeah.
Can you?
I can't skip ads. They won't let me skip,
Can you
man.
go back to the beginning? You got to hear turn it up and go and just start from the very beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, bro.
Your head, you can't keep your head still.
You move. Yes, your head moves when you hear Hypnotized.
Bone and Biggie, the collab. Remember that song?
Yeah.
I like
I
was a Bone fan. I like Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Erica, my wife.
That was Sherwood Middle.
It was Sherwood Middle.
Yeah.
Theriot and Erica went to elementary school together. Thank you, Moose. That's fine. One of the first times I looked at her when we were dating and was like, I had my playlist on and Thuggish Ruggish Bone came on.
She had every word.
And she went boom. She just took it and I was like, oh.
Gotta like
Excuse
that.
me, Sherwood Middle.
Yeah.
How about that? It was impressive.
It's a good era.
Yeah, it was a good era. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Look forward to a good era of LSU baseball as I now try to transition for the second time in this segment to LSU baseball. Last week, so every Friday here, we're going to talk with Theriot leading up to the season. Last week, Theriot gave us a thumbnail preview of LSU's pitchers. Today, I want to look at the infield. Next week, outfield. Then we'll look at the offense. So let's go around the horn. We'll start behind the plate. And, Jay Johnson essentially told us we're going to see 3 or maybe 4 different catchers this year. He did not mention, however, today, Hayden Travinski when he talked about the catchers. He did mention Alex Milazzo, who's had a great offseason, and he mentioned the 2 freshmen, obviously, and actually a 3rd freshman with Ethan. Did he say Frey? Because I thought it was Fry, but he said Frey, F-R-E, but it's F-R-E-Y, Frey, who's a giant as well.
Huge. Yeah,
but give me your thought on the infield. Let's start with the catcher.
Milazzo's been a guy that, local, Zachary High School. I think we've been hearing about Alex for a long time, and just elite defensive catcher, catch and throw guy, but has really worked his butt off this offseason offensively to get better. And he knows that if he can give us 250, he's a top 10 draft pick.
I'd take 220.
Right, but
I'd take 200.
Hitting is such a mental fight, and if you're a catcher, it makes it even harder because you're having to worry about the pitching staff and controlling that as well. So it can have its toll on him. But you're going to see Milazzo get his share of innings and an opportunity. The freshman Brady Neal has had an amazing fall and swung the bat really, really, really well. High-level hitter, somebody that we're going to talk about for a few years. You said it, Travinsky, I'm not sure kind of what his plans are or what they plan on doing him, but I thought he had a decent year last year, and I didn't hate him behind the plate. It wasn't one of those, guys that comes up and he's just out, but I think you'll see the Milazzo-Neal rotation behind the plate.
When they got into conference play, he struck out too much. He hit homers in the non-conference. He just couldn't put the ball in play in conference play. He had one good weekend, I think, against Florida maybe, and everyone thought, oh, that's your answer, and then it just never really happened again for him. But you've got good options there. Can Tommy White play third?
Well, they think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
are you just patient with it and just let it happen no matter what?
The problem with it is you don't have a whole lot of options there. Last year, again, you kind of saw a revolving door at third base.
Mm-hmm.
The kid from Dutchtown, who I thought did a really good job in spurts offensively.
So about Merrifield,
Jack,
Merrifield.
But surprisingly made some errors, and he's been known as a really good defensive player that prides himself in that, but just didn't catch the ball great last year. I know he can get better at that, but I think White's going to get. I mean, he's going to get the opportunity. They feel like he can do it, and so. If you make a few errors, but you hit 25 homers and you're comfortable at third base, then you're staying at third base.
That was my question. You don't have to be elite at third. You can't be a total liability. But to your point, man, if you're scoring 9 runs a game, man, you probably don't need. Well, you can afford a guy that kicks a couple over there.
There's a couple things you have to do at third. I mean, you have to be able to field the bunt effectively. And so if he can do that. If he can effectively field the bunt and deliver a good throw, that's a plus. If you make a few errors on balls to your left or right, whatever. If you can deliver the ball from third base to second base on a double play and field the bunt and you're going to hit 25, then we're good.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the mishandled ground ball every once in a while.
You a believer in Thompson at short? They seem to believe he's really taking a step from the early season struggles.
I think he's going to play in the major leagues. And I've said that on this show before. I spent a lot of time with him this summer and early in the fall, and just watching him catch ground balls and make adjustments, and he is just really coachable. He wants to learn. He wants to get better. Matt, he's as tooled up a shortstop that you can have. 6'1", wiry, cannon for an arm. His first step is great. He's got great instincts. His problem was he was playing too high the last few years. And in playing shortstop or middle infield in general, you want to be in a 4-foot box, and your eyes want to be behind your glove at all times. In other words, when that pitch crosses home plate, you want to get in your box and stay in your box until after you throw the baseball. Jordan, his throws were bad because when he would catch the ball, he would stand straight up. When he stands straight up, his elbow would coincidentally drop at the same time, and the ball would sail on him. So the challenge is getting in his box, staying in his box, even after he delivers his throw. And he did a great job with it this fall. And from everything I've heard from Jay and the guys, man, he looks great.
Keep Trey Morgan at first?
100%.
And then at second, you do what? Because all indications are it's going to be a rotation with Merrifield and Dugas, Gavin Guidry, the freshman coming in from Barb, and then Ben DePolt, the VCU transfer.
So I hate a rotation. I hate it for the players more than anything, especially when you talk about, you mentioned 4 names. If it's a lefty and a righty, I can kind of deal with it a little bit, but even then I hate it for the players. I think and look, Gavin Gavin had dealt with some injuries at the end of the fall. Dugas. Okay. At the end of the fall, but I know he had a great fall, swung the bat really well. I wouldn't say he's a natural second baseman today, but worked really hard on it. Footwork, can turn the double play, no problem. I'm not familiar with the kid from VCU, haven't seen him a whole lot, but I did lock in on Gavin Guidry, and I'm a fan.
Okay.
I mean, he swings the bat really well. He understands how to play baseball. Coach Cicchini at Barb is known for just pumping out dudes, and this kid is no different. He's frail, he's thin, he's a freshman, he's tall and skinny, so when you look at him, it's not like, oh man, he's the guy, but when the game starts, lightning quick hands, can really defend, can really hit. I think it's a two-way race for me right now with Dugas and Guidry, and the only reason, I think it's that way is Dugas been there forever, and he's going to get you a clutch hit.
All right, it's after further review. LSU begins practice today for the 2023 baseball season, and we're spending these next few weeks leading you up, kind of giving you a few breadcrumbs as we inch closer to the start of the season, where LSU is a consensus preseason number one. A lot of people excited for some obvious reasons. We'll get some of your reaction, talk a little more baseball. Let's hear some of what Jay Johnson had to say. And we got a preview championship Sunday in the NFL. It's all coming up. Glad you're here on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by eXp Realty. I tell you all the time that Darren has the systems, the processes, the people all in place to get your home sold faster for more money. Ask your realtor, if you have a realtor, ask your realtor to see their plan. What is their plan to sell your home? And I'd love for you to compare that with Darren James's plan. You can get Darren's plan, the 150-point marketing plan right now for free, totally. Just text the word plan, P-L-A-N. Text the word plan to 88,000. That's plan to 88000. You'll immediately get a text back with a link to Darren's 150-point marketing plan so you can see exactly the detail that he uses to get your home sold faster for more money. Do it right now. Do it just so you know I'm not lying to you. Text the word plan to 88000. You need to sell your home? You need Darren James. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Bayou Ford has $4,000 off MSRP plus $1,000 Ford credit cash on new 22 Ford F-150 XLT trucks. That's $5,000 off plus 0% financing. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
I've got that blue sky. I've got that sunshine.
Start your day with news and newsmakers. Start your day with traffic, weather, and local stories that are important to you. Kickstart your day every day. Mornings with Brian Haldane from 6 to 9 a.m. Weekdays on Talk 107.3.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Black Widow Jeep Gladiators in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a
Diamond.
Talk to me now. Cruising down the street.
Real slow, what the fellas be yelling?
Morale. Talk to me now. Cruising down the street.
Real slow, what the fellas be yelling?
Morale.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Bro, did you see this? This is wild, man. Conor McGregor put this on his Instagram account. He was riding his bicycle and got hit by a car at full speed. So he took a video out. The guy stopped, obviously, so he comes up and talks to him and makes sure he's okay and everything. The bike is all mangled. Conor McGregor said, like, he just wasn't his time. It was really lucky. Said, you know, it was a sun trap. Like, the driver couldn't see him because the sun was blinding him. Full speed, straight through me. Thank you, God, it wasn't my time. Thank you, wrestling and judo. Also, having an awareness on the landing saved my life. McGregor was literally riding a bicycle. He doesn't have a helmet on or anything. He was riding a bicycle down a paved street in Ireland. A dude just trucked him, and then the dude gave McGregor a ride home. They put the broken bicycle in his little his vehicle, whatever he was driving, and so you can see there his pants was ripped. Here, if you're watching, this is the video of the guy giving him a ride home. So Conor was going on a little ride, a little hatchback car, whatever, and I guess all's well that ends well, man. What a beauty.
So good.
You know what could have solved this problem?
Electric cars.
An electric vehicle could have solved the problem.
If he was driving an EV, it would have never hit him.
Yeah. Why would that have happened?
Because the car knows. The car knows and stops.
And the car would have stopped.
The car would have stopped. 100%. Everybody should be driving an EV.
ProCharge EV bringing you hour 2 of the Riot Radio Hour. Seriously. I mean, technology's here. It's coming. And if you're going to have an EV, you need to charge that EV. And even if you're not going to drive an electric vehicle, there are going to be people that do. So if you're a business owner, why wouldn't you have an EV charging station at your business? You're going to bring people in while they charge their vehicle. They'll come into your business. And then there's tap to pay options so you can generate passive revenue with your charging station at your business. It makes a lot of sense.
No, it 100% makes a lot of sense. If you're a business owner and you're wanting to advertise, for instance, every one of these cars has a screen that shows where the chargers are.
Mm-hmm.
So you're driving the vehicle and your business pops up right there. Like, oh, well, there's one at, Guarantee Broadcasting. Well, I'm going to go over there and stop in and charge for a little while. Well, you know what? While I'm here, I might as well go grab a burger or go grab this. And then the
we
business.
have burgers here?
Benefit. Well, if you did.
Great if we did.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that.
If you're a restaurant owner, it makes a lot of sense.
Seriously. Yeah. It's a differentiator. People would come to your restaurant, charge and eat while they charge their car or whatever the case may be. ProCharge EV. If you've got questions about that whole process, check them out. ProChargeEV.com. ProChargeEV.com. All right, it's after further review. We were talking there in the last segment about a little LSU baseball. Theriot went around the horn there on the infield. One other thing that we didn't talk about in hour number 1, if you weren't here at the start of the show, we went through a good bit of what Jay Johnson had to say previewing the season. He did say Paul Skeens, undoubtedly, 100%, is going to be the Friday night guy for this LSU baseball team. And Wes Johnson, coming in as the pitching coach, has been a huge differentiator. Here's what Jay Johnson had to say about his pitching coach Wes Johnson.
He is a terrific coach, as good as there is at a specific skill set and position in any sport. I mean, then being unbelievable at the science of how the body moves, and was really the tip of the sword cutting edge of that several years ago, and so really has transformed the way pitching happens. So that's just part of it, though. But then, as you said, to look at the TrackMan or the data from the force plate and then be able to go, this is what it says, this is what it means, this is what I need you to do, and get execution, it's phenomenal.
So that was interesting. So he was talking about being at he said the tip of the sword of the body mechanics for throwing and sort of things like that. Is that, that seems to be the explanation for why guys like Garrett Edwards have gone to throwing like mid-90s and Ty Floyd and all these guys who have added velo.
Yeah.
I mean, how does that happen? How does that work?
The body's connected, and the technology that's available now, you can break this stuff down super slow motion, and the tech does that for you. But to have someone like Wes who understands how to take that information and tweak the motion for the pitcher, is invaluable. Also, even if you can take that information and tweak it, if you can't deliver it in a manner where the player understands, it's worthless. And as much time as I've spent around Wes and talked ball with him, I mean, he is a true student of the game. It's funny not funny, but it's ironic that he's here because Jay is the same way when it comes to the overall game and hitting. Like, all he wants to do is baseball. When you talk to him on the phone, all he talks about is baseball. When you see him out in the community, all he wants to talk about is baseball. Wes is the same way. We're at the women's basketball game the other night. I go hang out. He's up there watching the game. I go sit by him, and he wanted to talk baseball the whole time. Let's talk about pitchers. Let's talk about at-bats. If you were a hitter, what would you be thinking in this scenario? Like, it's just constantly learning and learning. I heard a statement from Coach Pete Jenkins, our friend, who's been on the show a few times.
Heck yeah.
And it was a statement that I had heard multiple times before, but when Pete said it, it resonated. I heard him. I really got it. He said, Ryan, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And it was something that I'd heard plenty of times before that, but coming from Pete, it meant a lot because I understood how he cared for his athletes. When I see Wes interact with the pitchers or with the players at LSU, I see that same trait. The guys believe him. They sit on every word. They're hanging on every word that he says. Like, give me more, give me more. Ty Floyd's gone from being a good pitcher to a first-round draft pick. So it's believable. People see it now and they go, "Oh my gosh, this guy's really good."
I want to go back to Floyd for a second here because I remember. So 2 years ago when he was a freshman, we were doing those companion shows a lot. For those that aren't familiar, we would kind of fire up a YouTube live, and it sort of went late in the season, and then all throughout the postseason, every time LSU was playing baseball, we would do a companion show, just a live stream of, you'd jump on, and Moose would jump on sometimes.
Coogan liked to do it.
Well, Coogan would do it, and that's what I was going to talk about, was because, Patrick Coogan is a former All-American pitcher at LSU, two-time national champ, 96, 97, winning pitcher in the 96 championship game, the Warren Morris game, of course, started the 97 game. And Coogan, when Floyd was pitching in his freshman season, late in his freshman season, Coogan sort of identified that. I remember Coogan really, really raving about Ty Floyd, like, man, that's how it's supposed to look. Like, that is front-end SEC stuff. Well, then last year, the knock on Floyd was just that he could not throw an off-speed pitch. And I don't know if it's that Jason Kelly wouldn't call him, or they just weren't confident he could throw it or throw it for a strike or whatever, or just didn't command it, whatever. He just, didn't throw breaking balls. So what's happened in one offseason where a guy went from this enigma with talent but could only throw one pitch to now, he's going to be a first rounder?
Well, there's some truth to be said about who's calling the pitches and what that looks like too. When I was in college, the pitcher had the autonomy to shake. You didn't shake a lot because Skip was calling the pitches and he was Skip Bertman. But some guys did. And pitchers would have a feel for a certain pitch, and they'd want to throw it, and they're throwing that pitch with conviction at that moment. You rarely saw that happen last year. Guys didn't shake a whole lot. So there is some truth behind that. Maybe the breaking ball just wasn't being called. But I do know Wes is, so college pedigree, then he went to pro ball and did a really good job in the major leagues with the Twins, and then came back. The one thing I learned from pro ball from a hitter is if you threw one pitch or two pitches, you weren't going to last very long. If you were a two-pitch guy, you were in a lot of trouble. If you were a one-pitch guy, you were selling insurance. Two-pitch guy, you're in trouble. So his goal was to add a third or fourth pitch for all these guys. And look, he knows how to do it. He knows how to make those adjustments. And yeah, man, you add one more variable into the equation for a hitter, and things change dramatically fast.
Okay. I'm excited, man. The talent on the staff is undeniable, and it's just such a stark contrast from a year ago. And that's not to knock any of the guys that pitched a year ago, but it's just very obvious that there were holes. And they just had so many high leverage innings on so few guys that I think late in the season, you saw Riley Cooper run out of gas. You saw Eric Raiselman run out of gas. It was just, it just wasn't a deep staff, and you didn't have great starting pitching, so you had to rely so heavily on bullpen innings, and it was just that. God bless them. I mean, to get as far as they did to the spot they did was amazing, considering what they were working with. But it's just a completely different conversation this year with this LSU baseball team. So, again, practice started today for LSU baseball. We're 3 weeks from the opener, man. 3 weeks from the opener out at Alec Box Stadium. All right, brought to you by Mold Zero USA, mold-0usa.com. Give Jim Woodworth and the gang over at Mold Zero a call, servicing the entire greater Baton Rouge and greater New Orleans areas. That includes the North Shore and Slidell. If you have mold, don't. And don't cut sheetrock either.
No.
Don't go pulling insulation out of your house. Don't do all that. Don't go through that headache. Just call Mold Zero.
If somebody tells you they need to cut out sheetrock, please call Mold Zero.
Call Mold Zero. They'll come in, spray their patented, non-toxic dry fog system. You let that fog dwell. As soon as the fog dissipates, go back in your home, your office, whatever it is, completely mold-free. Mold-free, clean-smelling, other pathogens as well. You can learn more. They have a total performance study, by the way, by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, linked on the website. So you can check that out at Mold Zero USA. That's mold-0usa.com. Mold-0usa.com. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here on this Friday edition. Theriot is in studio, hour 2 of Riot Radio, brought to you by ProCharge EV. Learn more at ProChargeEV.com. When we come back, let's take a look at NFL Conference Championship Weekend. Who do you like? Don't answer that.
I'm not.
We'll get your picks after the break.
AFR.
Have you done your Get Gordon dance yet?
Mm-mm.
Hey, Muse, can you give me the jingle? I know what's going to get Theriot going. Let me hear it. Let me see it.
This is a good one.
And get it done.
Is there a real dance that needs to be done here? I know they're doing the challenge.
So the challenge is
any dance.
Any dance. Dance to the jingle. Post it. You could win $2,500, but you're running out of time. The contest ends at the end of this month. So today's the 27th. You got 4 days to go. Now go to any of their socials at Get Gordon. So it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Go to at Get Gordon and you'll see the Get Gordon Dance Challenge. Dance to the jingle. You can win $2,500. $2,500.
That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money just for dancing. Get Gordon and get it done. You've been hurt in an accident. You know what to do. Call our friends at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. 888-8888 or getgordon.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. always.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
A little breaking news from the NFL. The Saints have lost one of their co-defensive coordinators, Albert Breer and others, reporting. I'm sorry, this isn't necessarily, they aren't reporting it. The Falcons have announced it. The Falcons have made this official. The Falcons have announced that they have hired highly regarded Saints co-DC and defensive line coach Ryan Nielsen as their new defensive coordinator. So Nielsen replaces the retiring Dean Pease on Arthur Smith's staff. Of course, Terry Fontenot, the tie that binds there. Fontenot left the Saints front office to be the GM there with the Falcons. Obviously very familiar with Nielsen. Was part of the organization when they hired Nielsen from NC State. And Nielsen, who Ed Ogeron tried to hire in Baton Rouge, and Sean Payton kind of put the kibosh on that several years ago. But it is Ryan Nielsen leaving the Saints. I know when I say this, it might come across as like a sour grapes type thing. I'm not necessarily sure it's a giant deal. And it's not a knock on Ryan Nielsen. I think Ryan Nielsen, look, he's got the respect he's got for an obvious reason. He's very good at what he does. But one thing that is very, very obvious is that Dennis Allen is still calling the defense. Like, he is still the defensive coordinator. Ryan Nielsen, Chris Richard were co-DCs nominally this year. I mean, it was just really in name. I mean, Dennis Allen continued to run that side of the ball. So as long as Dennis Allen is in place, you kind of look at it and go, okay, well, you're going to cycle through coordinators, and that's okay, because the guy that's calling it would have been no different than when Sean Payton was the head coach if you would have cycled through offensive coordinators.
Right.
It wouldn't have necessarily been massively impactful because the guy who was calling the plays and leading the charge was your head coach. So as long as he's in place, you're good. So Ryan Nielsen's gone. And look, Chris Richard is also up for DC opportunities as well. So we'll keep an eye there. But in the meantime, you're looking at. I'm sorry, I just saw a different tweet. My guy David Cohn, his wife gave birth to their little baby girl.
Heck of a pitcher, David Cohn.
Not that David Cohn.
He was good.
He was. Little perfect game action.
Just have his baseball card.
Yeah, David Cohn. Perfect game with the Yankees.
Yep.
Yeah. Love little David Cohn. He was great. But this is David Cohn, who's part of Crane & Company, David Cohn.
Oh.
So
they had a baby.
They had a baby.
Congrats, David Cohn. Shout
Ava
out.
Darby Cohn.
Nice.
How about this? Sorry. So I was mid-sentence, and then I refreshed Twitter and then saw this. So shout out to the Cohn family. Ava Darby Cohn. There's Cohn. Cohn is from Georgia, who played quarterback at Michigan. And Cohn is a giant. He's like 6'7". So he is what you would consider a prototypical Big Ten passing quarterback. Sorry, I'm just scrolling the pictures. That one was a naked baby. But nothing showing. Anyway, there's Cone with his daughter. Cone's such a good dude.
Shout out, bro.
Shout out David Cone.
Not a boy.
Anyway, David Cone played quarterback at Michigan. He commits under Lloyd Carr the year Lloyd Carr retired and Rich Rodriguez got hired.
Okay.
So you have this 6'7" statuesque giant who ends up playing under Rich Rodriguez, who wants mobile quarterbacks that like Denard Robinson became the quarterback.
So he gained a bunch of weight and played offensive line.
No, so he stayed at quarterback in Michigan. He just went to Michigan and held a clipboard, basically, is what David Cone did his career there. Like, timing matters in life sometimes. But Cone's an awesome dude, man. So congrats to the Cone family.
He's got good hair, too.
Yeah, he does have really good hair, Cone. Cone's a great dude. A budding whiskey connoisseur as well. So at SEC Media Days, he's always like, oh, man, we should try. We kind of go over tasting notes and stuff like that. So anyway, awesome dude. That a boy, Cone. All right, it's after further review. We are glad to have you hanging out with us here. You know what's odd about this is they've had 2 babies in very short order because last year at SEC Media Days, his wife was very pregnant, like about to give birth any day. I think she gave birth to their son maybe in September of last year. So in roughly a year and a half, they've had 2 babies.
They're just getting after
it. The Cone family is growing.
Just getting after
it. It's
it.
growing.
I mean, that's how you do it. That's a good way to do it. I like that. Yeah.
I guess, man. To each their own. No judgment here. I mean, everybody do what you got to do. All right, football this weekend. Muse, hit me with a little football music. Let's set the mood if we could. We got 2 games.
Okay.
We got 4 teams. The AFC Championship game, the NFC Championship game. The NFC has the honors first. 2 o'clock on Fox. Championship Sunday. San Francisco at Philadelphia. The 49ers at the Eagles. Brock Purdy against Jalen Hurts. 2 quarterbacks that not many thought would be here. Nick Sirianni, the head coach of the Eagles, had this to say about the quarterback he'll face from San Francisco.
Sure, you do your homework on everybody, and then a guy that has won as many games and has many records as he does, of course, you're going to do your homework on him. And he had a really good college tape, that's for sure, and he has good pro tape. So, he's done a nice job since he's gotten into this league.
49ers, Eagles, Sunday, 2 o'clock Central. Muse, who you got?
I like the Niners and the defense in this one. Yeah, I do. And I've been on the Eagles a lot this year. I mean, when we go back and look at our thing, I think I was the only one who picked them to win the NFC East.
Let's go!
But I'm taking the outright upset there. I like San Francisco. I like the defense. I think the pass rush can actually impact Jalen Hurts. Now, if they get the running game going at Joey Bosa,
the show ends at
that's
6.
impressive.
Okay. All right. Paulie, who you got?
I'm going with the Eagles.
Okay.
I'm going with the old adage. Offense wins championships.
Yeah. The old adage.
Paul made a joke.
What did he say?
Paul goes, I'm going with the old adage, offense wins championships.
Yeah.
Look at Paulie with the jokes.
Good
Who
Paul.
really had him?
Oh, boy, Paulie.
Oh, boy, Paulie. Mr. The Riot.
Yeah, I think the Eagles, too. I think Jalen Hurts is too much. I do like San Francisco a whole lot. I don't really care who wins this one because I like both of them, but I think the Eagles are going to win this one.
I thought the Eagles were toast until last week. Jalen Hurts looked like Jalen Hurts. What we talked about last week was he going to be able to come back healthy. He's healthy. They're a completely different team. They're the best team in the NFC, might be the best team in football. So I will take Philly with a healthy Jalen Hurts. The dream run for Brock Purdy ends. But I love Muse laying the cojones on the line. I love going with it. I mean, look, it's both of these games, the spread is right around a pick. I mean, it's Philly 2.5. 2.5.
Yeah.
So, like, it ain't like it would be some gigantic shocking upset, but you got to go across the country in someone else's stadium. I'm going to take the Schmeagles as well. All right, to the game that we all here care about. They're in Burrowhead Stadium. Here was Joey B. talking about the difference in facing the Chiefs last year to this year.
More experience, more reps. We know the team we're playing. We've played them a bunch, and so I'm sure they're going to have some wrinkles off of things that they've shown us in the past, whether it was last game or the playoffs last year, because they know that they're going to be studying all 3 of these games just like we are. So we're going to have to be ready for anything.
Chiefs got up big in the first half last year. Bengals rallied, made the plays late to win it. The Bengals have owned this series. Muse, what do you say?
Cincinnati makes
it 4.
Makes it 4 in a row, man. Mahomes, he's going to play. He's healthy, but he's still going to be limited in it. And I think that defense has had his number a little bit as of late anyway. I think that continues. And, of course, Joe Burrow.
And no Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, but they got Travis Kelce, man.
I get it, but you can scheme for Travis Kelce.
Fair.
Not many teams do, because you're willing to say, I'll let the big polar bear get 10, 15 yards a clip. What I'm not going to do is let Tyreek Hill beat me over the top. They don't have Tyreek Hill, man. Well, literally, they didn't replace him. I mean, not. Anyway, all right, Paulie. Sorry. Paulie, go.
I'm also going with the Bengals. Joe Burrow just proves over and over again that he deserves to be in the conversation of the best in the league.
Paulie last week was the lone man on an island going with the Bills, which I respect. I mean, it was a 5.5. They were 5.5 point favorite, but coming over to the Burrow side, Mr. The Riot.
I don't know how you can say that Joe's not going to win. You know, I just
because Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in football and he's at home.
Is he better than Joe? I mean, I don't know.
He's won a Super Bowl. He's won MVPs. He's been in this game every year for the last 5 years. Is it 5 straight now?
Yeah.
5? Yeah, I mean, you can say it.
I mean, you can, I guess.
I could make the argument.
Yeah, I get it. High ankle sprain and all, I got to go Joe Burrow.
I'm surprised at the line adjustment. So a week ago, the Bengals were on the road and were a 5.5 point favorite. I'm sorry, 5.5 point dog. Now they're on the road, and this line moved at one point to where the Bengals were favored. So I mean, this line has shifted within a point of 0, point and a half over the course of this week. I mean, it's essentially a 6 point adjustment that we saw at one point this week. So I think maybe a little overreaction to the Mahomes injury. But I agree. Like, Mahomes is not going to be himself. Like, you can't be. It's a high ankle sprain. They're going to shoot him up. They're going to tape it up. He's going to get out there and run around and try to play, and he'll make some spectacular plays. But I just not having Tyreek Hill, like, not having that guy that's the differentiator. I mean, last week I picked the Bengals just because I was picking Joe Burrow. I mean, that was my pick. I said, I'm just going to pick Joe Burrow. And he proved he was worthy of that trust, and I think he still is until proven otherwise. So, yeah, clean sweep all of us here with the Bengals in KC. It's like until proven otherwise, ride with the Bengals. So we're all on Philly except Muse likes the Niners, and we're all on Cincinnati. If we do get Niners-Bengals, that would be a rematch of Super Bowl. I don't remember the number, but it was the one in the late 80s. I think we played in 88 or 89. It was a blowout. Anyway, Bengals-Niners. We've seen that Super Bowl before. Might see it again. We've never seen Bengals-Eagles Super Bowl. All right, it's after further review. Let us knock out our final break of the show. By the way, if you want to bet on the Super Bowl, on the championship weekend, you can at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Remember, you got 4 teams, 2 games, another chance to win. Not really even win, but to get a free $200 deposit into your account. Bet just $5. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Bet just $5 on one of the conference championship games this weekend. They'll give you $200 in free bets at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. That's for new customers. Existing customers, you have an opportunity for stepped-up same-game parlays. Got to opt in, but you can boost your winnings up to 100% on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the promo code Baton Rouge. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Bonus issued as free bets. One free bet issued based on amount of initial losing NFL bet up to $10. Eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms. Licensing partner Gold Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537.
AFR.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility. moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $8,500 off new 2022 Ram 1500s. New 2022 Ram 1500 trucks on our lot now with $8,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right. Bayou.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Toyota in Opelousas is here to help you ring in the new year with no markups, and you'll never pay over MSRP. And we have new inventory arriving daily. So Happy New Year from our Corvell Toyota family to yours.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Of course, Hour 2 of Right Radio, brought to you by ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com for your home, or if you're a business owner, set up those EV charging stations. It's like a magnet for EV drivers. Got to charge them somewhere. Charge them at your business. Come on in, spend your money, or tap to pay options. You can create passive revenue for your business. ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. All right, let's wrap it up with a little Ask Ryan. We do it every single Friday here. It's in the Right Radio Hours. Great way to put a button on the week. Get your questions in for Theriot. Ask anything about anything. By the way, Big Al texted and said, I'm sitting in a deer stand listening, and Biggie just made me move.
Yeah.
We were talking about Notorious B.I.G. He said, hypnotize makes you move.
That was a good song.
Can I share this joke that the guy sent me? Do you think that this is kosher? Do you think so? It's been long enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Danny Braywick sent me this. It says Tupac if Ben Simmons was the shooter. And it's a picture of like an age generated Tupac like 20 years of Tupac were like 60 years old today. Tupac and Ben Simmons. Get it? Because Ben Simmons can't shoot. Get it?
That's so good. I love that.
It did make me laugh. Like ILOL. It was really good.
You laughed loud.
I laughed loud. Cade Galt asked Ryan, cold beer or whiskey?
Probably a cold beer. Although you would be proud, I'm starting to like sip every once in a while.
Good.
Yeah.
To each their own, man. Spirits are meant to be enjoyed. Do what you like.
I can't remember what it was, but my brother Wes had a good bottle at Christmas, and I had a little pour.
Good.
Yeah.
And by the way, the answer is it really depends. If it's 100 degrees outside and I'm sitting by the pool, I ain't drinking whiskey. I'm drinking a cold beer or tequila on the rocks. You know what I mean? If I'm eating crawfish, I ain't drinking whiskey. Now, a night like tonight when it's going to be 41 degrees and I might be sitting out on the back patio, give me a little three-finger pour,
the old three-finger.
Something real nice. Randall Offrecht said, can you touch a little bit on Ryan Nielsen taking the Falcons job and maybe taking Marcus Davenport with him? Marcus Davenport, Saints defensive end. I just cannot see anyone giving that man $24 million a year. That's what the Spotrac says that the market value is for Marcus Davenport. I get the understanding, the need for rush ends, but my goodness, there's just no justification for it all.
Huh?
Trey Haydet said, I'm dying at you and Theriot on his letter. So good. Now, Trey, thank you. You're about an hour and 40 minutes delayed on the reaction, but thank you very much. Of course, you can always listen on demand at 1045ESPN.com. You can watch us on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel or WBTR in Baton Rouge. It's cable channel 19. Just about going to do it for us. Been a really good week. We appreciate y'all for being here. LSU basketball tomorrow, Pels tomorrow. You've got championship Sunday. Muse, you okay? Muse needs the weekend. Muse just basically told me we were done, and we had like 20 seconds left. It's all good, Muse. Muse, have a great weekend. I will see you Monday at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, I want to remind you about the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. Eye care, eyewear, eye surgery. You need your annual eye exam? Go to the Williamson Eye Center. If you do wear contacts or glasses, great. Williamson Eye Center can sell them to you. They have their optical shop, all different brands and styles. Look great. But if you're ready to ditch the contacts and glasses forever, if you're ready to just wake up in the morning and be able to see, if you're tired of having to reach for glasses on the nightstand or to read a menu, if you can't read the crawl at the bottom of a screen or seeing traffic signs, or maybe you're an athlete and you have trouble picking up the spin of the ball, LASIK or some refractive procedure could be the option for you. And the Williamson Eye Center has all of those options, no matter your age or your refractive issue. Go for that consultation. Do what I did. Trust Dr. Blake Williamson. Call 924-2020 or go to WilliamsonEye.com.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana Lawyer. Always